Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Jason Miles, and welcome to the Leftist Sports Show here on This Is Revolution podcast, Beyond the Red Zone. So glad to have you guys here with us this evening. This is going to be a very Beyond the Red Zone episode. I'm so excited for this one. If you're enjoying what we do here at TIR, if you are new to the channel, this is a slight break, just slight break from what we usually do on the main show, where we definitely take deep dives into the world of sports. We also have a lot of giggles on this show. Let me bring in my co-hostess with the mostest. Please welcome Mac. Somebody's feeling good about their gym pump.
That's right, man. It's about time. I did get propositioned. Granted, she was an escort and said she would give me a favorable rate because she liked my beard.
She sounds like a car salesman. There's a few things that really sell itself.
Yeah, and I was like, and I said, in this economy, you want me to pay for it?
I've always felt like those two things don't really need a big push.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not gonna pay for it. Like I said, I'm what you would call a poor. And I just started a new job, so I will not be getting a full paycheck on Friday. I have to wait till the following Friday.
You're like, ma'am, if you wait until this payday advance goes through, I'm gonna have enough money.
Yeah, and they're all over Fayetteville too. Yeah, man, we'll give you $500 at 38% interest. You good?
Oh, yeah. I'm still dealing with one of those from 5 years ago.
Yeah,
that's a different story.
Yeah. And then Congress, I like how Congress said, we're going to start regulating it. Yeah, fat lot of good that fucking did.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's not bad enough we're dealing with, I don't know, baking alive here everywhere in the United States right now. Or being underwater. Or I don't know if you saw the largest wetlands in the world. It's on fire. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, in Brazil. It's one of the most biodiverse places on the planet, and it's on fire.
The Amazon keeps lighting on fire over the last, 8 years? It was a big fire.
Yes, but see, these wetlands have kind of managed to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
But because of shit policy before, everybody's favorite quasi-leftist Lula, Jair allowed a lot of, essentially cut and burn practices in the Amazon. And even when Lula took over the presidency and said, you can't do this anymore, guess what? They're still doing it. As the youth say. Oh,
God. Well, let's get into this next depressing topic.
Yeah. It's great, right? I can't pay for a blowjob in this economy, and the world's on fire.
After you got that good workout pump going, that's what's even worse. You got a new job, workout pump. You got brand new tanks you bought.
Oh, no,
down to the local Marshalls.
I had this one for a long time, and I just was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm having a good self-image day, and it's 91 degrees now. Excuse me, in North Carolina, and even with the AC pumping and a fan on, it's still 83 degrees in my room. Oof. So I was like, you know what? Everybody's getting a little bit of Mac tonight. Mac.
If it continues getting warmer there, you might see a little nip.
Mac and James Connolly. We're just gonna hang out with you all night.
Okay, from here, from my vantage point, and I'm not wearing glasses. Thought it was Groucho Marx.
No, it's one of my favorite communists of all time.
The Irishman.
The Irishman, indeed. I've got a nice spot on my back, like on my back shoulder, that I'm gonna get Chairman Hampton tattooed on me. So
you're gonna have a multiracial coalition tattooed all on your back.
Absolutely, just a multiracial coalition of commies that if they all got together, things would be really rad.
I would love to see the face of people you walking around with a black dude tattooed on your back. In rural North Carolina.
Oh man, dude, my boy Dev, he's a black tattoo artist. He once said, I automatically always have my card to the barbecue because I'm blacker than this guy, and points to his buddy. And he's like, listen, just because I don't talk like you, Devin, doesn't mean that I am not black. And Dev was like, bitch, you're not.
Damn. Mean.
Dev is.
It's
But you
mean.
would love him. He's fucking hilarious.
I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. You know why? Because I played metal music my whole life, and so people think you're not threatening. So it's like, you're cool. It's like, because I don't scare you. Thanks.
No, we make fun of his friend because he came to a dive bar in a suit. That's why we make fun of him.
Maybe that's how people came into dive bars in like those noir movies.
Yeah, that was in what?
The mid 90s had a little revival of those movies.
Yeah, and the mid 90s also had a little revival of swing music as well.
There's a lot of people that don't want to be reminded of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, and let's not act like everybody in chat isn't looking back into the way back machine and recalling seeing all the dickheads in zoot suits walking around in like 96. You know,
think about swingers.
85 degrees, and you're wearing a fucking zoot suit. Oh, you fucking tool bag. Just wear regular clothes until you go swing dancing at the Y, okay? Leave us alone. Stop assaulting our eyeballs.
I guess you won't be going to the Rev Horton Heat concert.
Nope.
Nuriak said, God damn, what was that about? Just shitting all over his swing dancing days. You met Nuri. Can you imagine Nuri just swinging his wife all over the place?
I mean, it looked like fun. I did not have the coordination for it and would just end up like throwing a poor girl, across the floor.
Assault. It was an assault when you did it.
Yeah. I treated her like Gimli in Lord of the Rings, where I just threw her really hard at something and it,
Eric W says, "Oh wow, those were the days." Yeah. Eric W had one of those fucking pompadour hairdos.
Oh, he did too. He looked like the gay dude from Clueless.
Eric W. Definitely hung out at the Viper Room.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Definitely. Where's the Viper Room hang?
Eric carried around a comb and just constantly.
He had to go to the Black Beauty shop to get real pomade. That's how he knew he was a street tough. I don't. What was the line from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou"? I don't want pomade. I want Dapper Dan. That'll be a couple weeks to get here. Oh, isn't this place a geographical anomaly? A couple weeks from everywhere. Poor Eric. We have no idea what Eric W looks like.
I know. I'm sorry, Eric.
I hope you know what, Eric. I hope you have hair, unlike Mac and I.
Yeah, I actually, if you do,
you're fucking winning.
Yeah,
Jason
and I just grow the shit on our face and then just cry.
Oh, he says, look, we got him. He traded in his fucking Honda Civic, or no, his Accord. His Accord for a vintage Cadillac that was primered out.
Oh, dude! Or
one day he was going to get a paint job for it.
Studebaker.
Oof! Just waiting. It was all primered out.
Yep.
He's like, just wait, you guys.
Mom, I know I spent all my summer work money on this rust bucket, but it's going to look great one day. Fast forward 20 years. Hey, dickhead, you gonna come get this? It's still in my garage.
It's just sitting at his mom's house, just taking up space. Get the car from your mom's house, Eric. You're a grown man now.
That's right. I don't want fop.
Eric said no. He had a Corolla.
Well,
he had to trade the Corolla in. What is worse? Trading the Corolla in for your rusted out fucking 50s doo-wop mobile, or riding in the Corolla dressed like the 50s threw up on you?
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse. Complaining about newfangled things like air conditioning.
Eric's driving around a Corolla with no power steering. He's like, that shit's for sissies. And
it's not that the car is so old it doesn't have power steering. It's that the power steering broke.
Took it out.
So Eric just got buff ass fucking forearms from trying to turn a car.
Turn that car and swing dancing by hucking women.
That's why he was into that shit. That's the economics of the 90s made Eric a swing dancer.
That's right. The 50s wing-a-dingo.
Oh shit.
Oh.
We're gonna meet Eric and he's gonna punch us in the chest.
Or just show up in one of his suits.
Yeah. Hey, cat daddy. Take out that comb. It looks like a switchblade.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah.
You got your good shoes on? Good. We're going swing dancing. Let's go, Daddy-O.
Dizzle says, where are the hoes at? I don't know. Ask Eric.
Dude,
47 of them can fit in the back of that Studebaker. So,
and that's without using the trunk. That's the thing.
people are going to listen to the show like, I thought this was a sports show. Why are they shitting on this guy for liking swingers? I like swingers.
There's going to be someone that comments on the YouTube video like, fuck these tool bags. Swingers was great.
Look, hey, John Favreau.
John Favreau is a fucking treasure. To see where he came up from, like Swingers and Made, just phenomenal. And the fact that he could get no backing for it. He just kind of like took out loans and shit and made it semi-autobiographical. And that put him on the map. And now look at the guy. He runs a whole Star Wars TV universe on Disney Plus.
That's kind of badass.
Yeah.
That's like every nerd's dream. Like if one day someone was like, hey, Jason, we really like what you do with music, and you run this division of like Rolling Stone so it doesn't suck. I'm like, okay. Mac, you and Toussaint got this, right? All right, bye-bye.
Toussaint just is like, Mac, I don't know shit about sports. I'm like, Jason said you had to be here.
You're making $47 a week. You shut the fuck up.
You enjoy that $47, Toussaint. I know you live in New York and it doesn't go very far, but enjoy your $43 Big Mac and leave me alone.
You're 43. Hey.
According to Republicans, that's how much a Big Mac in New York City costs. So,
where the fuck McDonald's are they going to? The one at Trump's house?
I had some dickhead, like one of the last nights I went out, that was like, a Big Mac in New York City is $14. And I was like, bullshit, dude. I call bullshit right now. I was like, I have two friends that are probably like nose deep in a pile of cocaine in the Bronx. They will tell me how much McDonald's is. And he's like, all right, I'll bet you your tab. And I was like, fuck yes. So I called my old soldier Guglielmo up and I'm like, yo, dude, like, hey, are you fucking high right now? And he's like, oh yeah, fucking Sergeant Mac, I'm fucking geeking, dude. Geeking. What do you need, bro? I'll come down to fucking North Carolina right now. And I'm like, no. I was like, how far are you from a McDonald's? And he's like, oh fuck, like 2 blocks, dude. What do you need? I'll go get you a burger and fries right now. I'm like, Googs, I don't need it. But what I need you to do is go to that McDonald's and tell me how much a Big Mac in New York City is. And he's like, oh fuck, I don't even have to go. It's like $9.96, And I was like, how do you know this? He's like, oh, fucking DoorDash, man. And he's like, I know they mark up, but And I was like, well, this dickhead, and keep in mind, he's on speakerphone the entire time. And this dude was just like, so I was like, so you're paying my tab tonight? He's like, yeah, but I see you're drinking like house vodka soda. And I looked at the bartender, who's my friend. I was like, I would like 4 Jaeger bombs, please.
Your finest Jaeger bombs.
I need 4
your finest Jaeger bombs.
Finest Jaeger bombs. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay for this. So start giving me water. And Joss is like, what are you doing? I'm like, I need a trash can. And she's like, oh my God, it's just like sugar and booze,
Oof.
And then you dump a Red Bull into it. I'm like, oh yeah. And they serve it in a little bucket. Oh, those are $9 a piece. I had 5.
What's better, that or Big Macs then? what's better for your soul?
Yeah.
And
at the end of the night, my tab ended up like $115. And he was just like, you're an asshole. And I was like, yep, I know. And I was like, ask me if I feel bad. He's like, do you? And I said, no, but tomorrow morning I'm going to feel like shit.
Oh, you're going to feel horrible.
And I
did feel horrible.
I did.
Dizzle says, you sure they didn't go to McDowell's?
I'm positive they didn't. Guglielmo is a lot of things. That man does not lie to me for whatever reason. He has this undying sense of loyalty to
But,
me.
but the bigger question is, why would this? I think this kind of gets into also what we're going to talk about today. Uh, the Big Mick is $14.
So that's how much I'm worth.
The Big Mick. Kind of the way things are reported, and the way we view certain things, and one of those things is justice. And I was looking at an article today about the Big 12 press conference they were doing.
Oh yeah, the media day.
Media day. That's what. Thank you.
That has turned into a shit show.
Well, I'm gonna here. I'll read this for you. Welcome to our podcast, where today we delve into the heated topic that's currently stirring the sports world: the controversy surrounding Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy's handling of star running back Ollie Gordon's recent DUI arrest. This issue has sparked significant debate amongst sports journalists, pundits, and fans alike. Gordon, who blew a .10, which is above Oklahoma's legal limit of .08, was not suspended by Gundy, who instead defended his decision in a way that has raised many eyebrows. Here's the controversy. Mike Gundy's approach to Gordon's DUI has been criticized for being too lenient. Gundy argued that Gordon's weight of around 215 pounds meant that a blood alcohol level of 0.10 was equivalent to consuming 3 to 4 beers, and he admitted to having driven after drinking that amount himself. He did not suspend Gordon, suggesting instead that facing the media in a public apology would be a more effective form of punishment than missing football games. Gundy's comments also seem to indirectly criticize the NAACP.
Which I would not put it past Gundy. He's not.
We can get into Gundy pissing them off in a little bit.
Yeah.
Criticize the NCAA's new name, image, and likeness, the NIL policy, suggesting that the influx of money to players should come with increased accountability. Now, the larger issue here, this situation brings up several important questions about justice, punishment, and the impact of money in college sports. Justice versus vengeance. There's a line between justice and vengeance. In the context of college sports, what constitutes a fair and just punishment for athletes who break the law? Is suspending a player for multiple games the right approach? Or are there more effective ways to handle such situations? Number 2, the impact of NIL. Gundy's comments highlight a growing concern among coaches and administrators about the influence of money on college athletes' behavior. Does the new NIL policy complicate this disciplinary process for college athletes? Are players more likely to disregard rules because they feel financially empowered? Moralizing versus justice. Are we more concerned with moralizing athletes' behavior than we are with actual justice? In this case, is the outrage directed more at Gundy's perceived leniency or at the need to uphold a standard of behavior? Player mobility. If Gordon were suspended, would he consider transferring to escape the consequences and stigma of his DUI? How does the potential for transferring impact the way coaches discipline their players? Some may argue that Gundy's approach, which focuses on public accountability rather than game suspension, is a more modern and constructive form of punishment. It forces the player to confront the consequences of their actions directly and publicly. Others believe that failing to suspend Gordon sends the wrong message about the seriousness of DUI offenses. They argue that athletes should be held to higher standards of conduct and that suspensions serve as an important deterrent. How does a coach's disciplinary decision affect team dynamics and the overall morale of the team? Is there a risk of creating a double standard or fostering resentment among players? As we discuss these questions, we aim to uncover the complexities behind the intersection of justice, punishment, and the evolving landscape of college athletics. Mike Gundy's handling of Ollie Gordon's DUI arrest is more than just a sports story. It's a reflection of a broader societal issues about accountability, fairness, and the role of money in shaping behavior. Mac, you took a look at that article.
I did. And this is the shitty part about the Big 12 media day.
Mm-hmm.
It turned into what crazy shit can we get Dion to say while on camera? Right?
Yeah.
For a team that won 4 games. Oh, thank you, Dizzle. That's very nice of you to say. You know, for a team, or for, you know, a team that went 4-8 last year, they're
Mhm.
drawing a stupid amount of exposure compared to, and I get it, Oklahoma, Texas left. A lot of teams came in, and that league is they're gonna chew fucking Colorado up and spit them out. Even with the chain, that's the long and short of it. You know, I mean, we talked about it when he first got hired, and I told you I give him 3 years at most. This isn't Jackson State, man.
Yeah.
You know, um, and then you kind of get into the line of questioning because they're asking all the other coaches in the Big 12, well, how do you compare to Dion? Or, you know, what do you think of Dion? And Gundy made some off the cuff like comment, like, listen, I am probably the more entertaining coach, you know, and all this other shit. And that very well,
I'm 40.
yeah, yeah. You know, but he's the guy that almost chased off Chuba Howard, who is a running back for the Panthers now,
Mhm.
when he wore a One America News Network shirt to practice.
He was making it the official news network of the team.
Yes. And he was putting that shit in their meal rooms, in their locker rooms. And I give Chuba a lot of credit for standing up and being like, hey, coach, you realize like 3/4 of this team is black, and they have had nothing nice to say about black people the 3 days that you've had it running constantly, you know, in those facilities. And what did he do about it? Well, I didn't hear anything like that. You know, I'm a cowboy through and through. I play with black people and coach black people, and there's not a racist bone in my body. And it's
You
just
ever
like,
heard of one Barry Sanders,
yeah,
blacker than the ace of spades?
you know, like that's the type of dude Gundy is. So when you see this happen, right? You see this. This is going to open up a can of worms. I don't think Gundy like knows like how bad this is going to get, right? Because you know the NCAA, and we've talked about it a million times. It's a feckless, spineless organization that's trying to oversee, you know, all, you know, essentially NCAA football and NCAA basketball because those are the cash cows, right?
Mhm.
Well, now it's not just football and basketball players you have to try and kind of police. It's, you know, the female gymnast as well. I mean, Livy Dunn, you know, who's made millions off NIL. She was one of the first ones to really make it big down in Louisiana State. Um, she did like took pictures in a bikini, you know, shit that women have been doing for how long?
Since bikinis.
Yeah, since they became a thing.
Mhm.
And LSU like tried to suspend her, you know,
Wow.
going into like the NCAA tournament for gymnastics because it was, you know, behavior unwarranted of an LSU athlete.
Was it the same kind of picture that I sent you from the other gymnast?
I mean, Miss Dunn does not do a clam slam, but she, you know, she's got some other tricks up her sleeve, right? She's also dating potentially the National League starter for the All-Star game. So good for her.
Okay. Okay.
Um, you know, but like, let's face it, under Les Miles, LSU had how many rape allegations?
Oof.
How many? Like, it was in the dozens. You know, the only team that had more was fucking Baylor. And that's because Art Briles he doesn't really believe in rape, you know? So, I mean, it's this bullshit moralizing. And I'm not excusing, you know, what Gordon did, right? Like, I will be brutally honest. I got one and I was like, never fucking again. It was
Very expensive.
humiliating,
Mhm.
very expensive, um, you know, and it's not worth it, especially now that there's Lyft and Uber. And, you know, there are regional versions of both of them if you don't want to like serve the shitty tech god companies, you know, like give them your hard earned money. Um, but there's so many other options out there. So it's just kind of like, dude, it's kind of like that sense of invincibility. Like they're not gonna
Yeah.
get me.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but like the fact of the matter is, yes, he weighs 215 pounds. And yes, to blow a .10, you probably need to average 3 to 5 beers an hour. But that's saying he's only been out for the 1 hour.
Yeah.
When did he get pulled over?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the wee hours of the morn. So if you think he only had 3 to 4, Mike, you're fucking stupid. And especially if he's out with his boys, man. Like, you may not drink, Jason, but how many times have you been around your boys when they're
Yes.
drinking?
Yes.
It's not just 3 to 4 beers. There's some shots involved. I mean, if you're in a more exotic locale, there might be like a body shot, maybe a little shot in a tube that she puts in her boobs and you get it down in there. Um, so like it just and then Gundy admitting it, like, I've done it, like, fuck. Like, yeah, Dr. Claw, yeah, in Ohio, Jason, they have these thing called party plates.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a DUI when you get your license back, you have red lettering on your license plates. So cops know that you
No, to check your shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
In Ohio, it's officially called an OVW, operating a vehicle while intoxicated.
Whatever it's called expensive.
Yeah, it's called expensive as fuck.
I mean, I look, as a person that doesn't drink, I totally understand the dangers involved with people that drive drunk. Not a fan of it. I've been sober forever, so I have no problem driving somebody's car, right? And like you said, there's enough ride sharing apps all over the world. You can get Uber here in Mexico.
Dude,
Fuck that.
I'm sure there's some young entrepreneur in Rosarito that started like Rosarito Ride. All you got to do is look hard enough.
Most people, when they get wasted, you see them, wavering on the street corner, waiting for an Uber or a taxi. There's taxis that run up and down the street. So it's I think most people, I shouldn't say that because it's still, I think it's not the leading cause this year, but it has been for years, right? Vehicle accidents.
Yeah.
Usually someone's intoxicated. So I understand the importance of it, but there's always a moralizing, especially when it comes to athletes. And I feel like the moralizing is being doubled down on. And also, I feel like this is a great opportunity to talk about the way we view justice in this country. And this is one of those avenues that sports is a great way to have your leftist conversation with people when you might be in a conservative room. And reading the article, it felt like the writer was just coming down on Gundy just because he didn't punish the kid. And I'm like, why do you need to see punishment?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think he should have had some kind of suspension, honestly, because like if you can get one and then get suspended in the NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL, that should be one of those things, right? And it's typically not a long one, and it's typically not until after they've been like convicted of it. So like they can drag that shit out a year.
Yeah.
Before they even get suspended, right? But I will say this. Demanding a pound of flesh from somebody who did something very stupid, one of two things happens, right? The person gladly gives it up. They throw themselves at the feet of public opinion, and again, I'm not condoning what he did, right? Or you get the guy who just gets really defensive about it, and fuck, look at the country we live in. Go ahead and be a defensive black dude. You end up on like OANN and Fox as the angry black man, and just getting your name dragged through the mud.
Well, I read two things this morning. I read this article, and then I read another article in a local paper. I shouldn't say local paper, a paper in San Francisco called The Standard. And it had a few different articles in it. And one that caught my attention really kind of plays into something I've been talking about more and more on the main show, which is that we're seeing a return to tough on crime policies. And let's just take this media day, and then we're going to juxtapose it to this instance that happened in San Francisco. A couple from a place called Monterey, California, which is in the central part of the state-ish, coastal.
That's where DLI is, the Defense Language Institute.
Yeah. There's also
Yep.
like there was old bases there.
Yeah.
I did a photo shoot out there years ago with my old band.
Yeah. It was like Fort McCoy or some shit like that.
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
We were in this old decommissioned military base. It's pretty cool photos. Anyway, so these people from Monterey are in Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, a beautiful park, and there's bisons there. And this woman wanted to take pictures of bisons for a reference photo for something she was going to paint. And as they're getting ready to take pictures, 3 young men, 2 of them under 18, point a gun. The article doesn't say if the gun was real or loaded. And that's kind of important as well.
Yes, it is.
They point a gun to this woman. And I say that because one of the things that I don't understand why more gun advocates don't talk about it is the realness of pellet guns over the last 10 to 15 years. Pellet guns, people use pellet guns in robberies all the time. They have a weight to them. You can get pistol whipped with a pellet gun and not get knocked the hell out. A lot of robberies are committed with pellet guns. That being said, I don't know if it was a real gun or not, right? So they do put the gun to the woman's head. This is what makes me think it might not be real. And said, don't die over a camera. They take her camera. They grab their phones. They realize, oh, we can't do anything with these phones. They ditch the phones. They steal a car, not their car. Police chase them. Some mandates have changed in San Francisco about police chases, that if you start going through certain parts of the city, it's deemed unsafe because someone died in a police chase last year, I believe. So they backed off of the police chase. The kids couldn't drive. Jesus. Ran into someone's home. San Francisco is a city where you can live in the garage of a place. You can turn a garage into an apartment. It's actually very common. So they smashed into someone's garage apartment. That cat doesn't have a place now. And they flee on foot. Police find them instantly. The couple points them out. Those are the cats that robbed us. They get arrested. But the story kind of starts after the arrest. The district attorney and the judge, the kids were held, the under 18s were held for 2 weeks in juvenile hall.
Is that legal?
Yeah, yeah.
While pending charge, they're allowed to hold them that long?
If you don't post bail.
Well, that makes sense. Okay.
So
this is America, in the words of Childish Gambino.
So the kids get out. The city drops the charges. They're like, there's really, we're not gonna pursue this, and we're not gonna charge them as adults. The couple, who in the article say we're progressive Democrats, and we understand, we don't want people to be locked up forever, but we feel as though punishment is the only way people can learn that the things they're doing are wrong. I was like, that's interesting. It's not like they believe they're doing something right. But anyway, progressive Democrats. And I'll give them that. I'm sure they have the thing in their house. In this house, all women are women. Black lives matter.
Next to the live, laugh, love thing.
Right? Right? And the whole thing is they wanted more time. Now, under the law, had they charged those kids as adults, they would have sat down for 7 years.
Well, and that's even depending if they determine that the weapon was real, you're probably looking at another 10 on top of that.
Yeah, that's why I don't think the weapon was real. I'd have to dig into it a little bit more.
I mean, you got to think any kind of assault with a weapon, well, a deadly weapon, because anything with like essentially a point or can shoot out a projectile is a deadly weapon, right? Like most states hit you up easily just off the top for one count, like 8 to 10, right?
And they start throwing other crazy shit, kidnapping, attempted murder.
Yeah, and see, this is what kills me about this progressive Democrat bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the opening 5 minutes of the newsroom, everybody's seen that clip with Jeff Bridges saying, "What are we the number one in? Besides people, incarcerated and amount spent on defense spending, and he's not wrong. And there's a reason why, we have the sentencing issues we have in this country. One, because we have this draconian thought process of punishment means you're going to learn from it and not do it again. Right? That's not always the case. Honestly, it's not even the case most times. I mean, when you compare US prisons to prisons in, like, say, the Nordic countries where rehabilitation's the thing, like, we don't want you to come back here. So what can we do to help you do that? Well, I have a lot of childhood trauma. Bet. Therapy. What else? Well, I didn't have a job. Cool. Vocational training. Let's go. How long are you here? 6 years. All right. You get the therapy for the entire time you're in here. You knock out vocational training and pick a job. We'll let you out in 4. And they have very low rates of recidivism. Yeah. Granted, they also don't have predatory cops going out and just looking to bust people to put them back in prison to satisfy private prison contracts that every fucking state has now.
I mean, there's also healthcare, education is free, housing isn't punitive if you're getting government housing. I mean, there's a lot that goes into a social safety net that changes the way society looks and functions, and it's hard to change one major aspect without all those other things falling into place.
Yes, and let's face it, this is the United States. We don't want a strong social safety net, which would eliminate all this crime that typically white folks are bitching about. The people that actually need help with the crime, from the places that are getting gentrified and pushing them out, or the very ignored, places where, like, urban renewal, which is my favorite fucking, bullshit term, just destroyed communities. And it's those people need help from crime. So how do we do that? Let's eliminate the poverty. And they're just, whoa, eliminate the poverty?
Well, once you believe that there's a culture of poverty, right? Once you believe that thesis that it's all moral, and once you have a moralizing view of the world, that can seem like it's very black and white and very right and wrong. And in the case of the football player, it's like, okay, what if this guy has a real drinking problem? Never was that stated in the article. The guy has a real drinking problem. And it's like, you know what? Suspending him from games isn't going to help his drinking problem. But you know what, Mike? We put him in rehab. And maybe he misses some games because of rehab. But let's say we get behind him.
Or at the very least, 12-step program, man.
Yeah.
You don't have, like, I can't tell you how many soldiers that were like, I'll never go to a 12-step program because it's based in faith. I'm like, faith is a very loose term in a 12-step program. They talk a lot about higher powers, and it's whatever the fuck you want it to be, bro. And after years of just being inveterate drunks and, hard drug users, they finally got into a program, and it's worked for most of them, and what made it easier is, like, when their wives went, when their older kids went with them, I mean, it's always easier when you got some backup from somebody, until you can get to know that community. So it's just like, I'm with you on that one. Like, why aren't we treating the symptoms and the disease if we want to fix the behavior? Why does it have to come down to, oh my gosh, he's making $1 million on NIL. He should not ever make a mistake ever in his life. No. So when he does make a mistake, he's got to be hammered with that, with that mistake. Dude, it's embarrassing enough. I'm going to tell you that right now. I got mine. I was so fucking embarrassed, man. I actually asked my boss, do I have to come to work Monday? And he was like, oh, you bet your ass you're coming to work Monday, like, and it was it was the right thing to do. I had to look all my peers and my soldiers in the face and be like, guys, I fucked up bad, and it's very humbling, and that in itself can be punishment. Can you imagine standing in your practice facility looking at 81 other guys and saying, and you're the star?
Yeah. And you say, hey, I effed up. They took my keys. Now I got freshman Joe accompanying me everywhere, ride me around town. Like
Jimmy, the equipment guy's driving me around now. And none of us like Jimmy. Jimmy's like, hey man, fuck you. I picked you up from prison. Shut the fuck up, man. Go away,
it's
Jimmy.
it's what's interesting is the way everything is put is, and I think this is the future of NIL, because I think you're right, Mac. And I would love to see what people have to say in the chat about this as well. Is look what happens when you give these people money. And the irony is, a lot of these kids are coming from a couple of bucks. We've been talking about this for the last couple years on this show.
Yep.
That Hoop Dreams story of these illiterate motherfuckers going up through the ranks and making it to the pros. That's dead.
Yep.
That's an antiquated tale that liberals like to hear to feel good about themselves.
Yeah, that's why fucking, Karen Mick, progressive Democrat still likes The Blind Side. Like it's not Sandy Bullock's excellent acting in the film. It's the premise.
Yeah. And when I saw that, and I read both of these things, and I was like there's so much to be said. And we were talking about this a little bit last night about like kind of moralizing behavior, especially when you think about things like the culture of poverty. If you really believe that people's problems are intrinsic to their genetic makeup, and you believe things like handing down trauma over generations, it's going to get you into eugenic conversations about people.
Yeah, and the thing is like sometimes when I hear that, I'm kind of like, but my kids are native, so I understand it, from certain perspectives, I should say, especially when you.
Well, that okay. So,
excuse me, guys.
what you got choked up?
Yeah.
With acid reflux.
But like with a tribe as small as my children's, it is a big thing, especially considering they were completely disbanded in the 50s by fiat, by the federal government, and didn't essentially reform until the early 90s. And now they're trying to, we're almost 30 years later and they're still kind of building back.
Well, let's look at your kids, for example. If I take that same mentality that says your trauma is handed down to you, if your kids do something wrong, now I say this is the genetic deficiencies of your trauma being handed down to you. It's not, oh, maybe they just made a bad decision that day, because a lot of teenagers make bad decisions that day.
Very true. Very true.
They might have better opportunities than a generation before. It's 2024. It's not 1950, right? A lot of things have changed, even though a lot of these things are getting rolled back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't we? Isn't Charlie Kirk like having a party right now because everything that's going on?
They're trying to roll everything back. Civil rights schmites.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk and his giant six heads over there, like, we're getting rid of EVs and we're bringing back those Studebakers. Eric W is gonna be so happy. Eric W's over there listening and playing his cello. He's like, what the fuck, man?
No, his stand-up bass.
Yeah. What'd I do to you guys?
And someone says epigenetic bullshit. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, because it's what ends up happening is, oh, they're part of the culture of poverty. We have to go after the whole lot. Right? And that becomes the problem. These natives are broken because we broke some treaties. We're sorry, but they're damaged goods. Look at Pine Ridge, South Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it that way to a certain point, but like Nuri was talking about, like when you talk about Irish generational trauma, and this is kind of like right up my alley, because if I ever had the money to go back to school, you know exactly what I would be going to get my PhD in, right? It's kind of built into the story of kind of like resistance. And see, that's where I give a lot of Native communities a lot of credit, because they're like, look at what happened, but that doesn't stop us. When you look at what the Muskogee Creek and the Western Band of Cherokee just did, strangely enough, with Oklahoma State University, they just started the first indigenous med school on a reservation that's open to, Native peoples across the country. And when you look at like Irish generational trauma, considering this shit goes back to the 1100s, it's kind of their story, but It's not so much like because this happened to you, this is why things are bad. And I think the big sea change, especially in Ireland, came with the Good Friday Agreement when both sides kind of realized like we're tired of fucking like going out to the pub and can't even enjoy ourselves because we could blow up like within the
Yeah.
next 15 minutes, you know? So I think it really depends on how you apply it, maybe. If you understand what I'm
But is there a way? Again, you're going to get into a eugenic conversation of if it's in your genes, whatever you want good to happen. That's the thing about conversations like that. Whatever you want good to happen, you have to accept the bad.
well, see, the good thing for you, I don't believe in science. COVID, hoax, Earth, flat, genes
like,
not existent.
like if you've ever met a black person that says something along the lines very similar to that, like, "Oh, I am from the stock of these people that survived this, and we were from the strongest tribes," and blah 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 blah. It's like, well, if you really want to think about it, you know, you're probably from a weaker stock because you're the person that got conquered by another coastal tribe and then sold. So automatically, anyone that's over here, you're automatically you're second tier. The second team came over, right? You're starting there.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
weren't kings and queens.
you went from being JV at
Yeah.
the big school, but now you're a starter at the little one.
And it's like, well, that we were kings and queens. Not what
See,
you want to believe.
that is my favorite thing because like my own mother likes to say, somewhere in our line, we're Cherokee. And we were like Cherokee princesses. And I'm like, Mom, I hate to tell you this. Cherokee did not have an aristocratic
Your
structure.
mom pulled Elizabeth Warren on you?
Oh yeah, she did. And I was like, one, I've had a DNA test done. We don't have any native blood in us. Sorry. And she's like, that's a lie. My great grandmother said we did. And I'm like, well, your great grandmother was lying to your face.
Was your great grandma friends with Liz Warren?
I mean, who knows at this point, maybe. Liz Warren lied about being native, and then I could see her saying, "You know what? I'm actually 103." Liz, no, you're not. We have your birth certificate.
I'm actually 103. No, Nuri. That's literally how people are explaining. It's a way to frame deficiencies, especially in the culture of poverty thesis.
Yes, and God damn it, Jason, I've been going back and forth between great sports books and more depressing readings because we're friends, and that's what I'm like. Oh, Jason read this, I should do it too, and I'm just like, what is wrong with our lives right now? When I finish that book, But yeah, some people do chalk it up like that, but like Nuri is tapped into how the Irish put, how they explain generational trauma. And honestly, Nuri, a lot of that you can chalk it up to colonization. I mean, that's exactly what the Brits did in Ireland. It meets every like check the block checklist of colonization and what the Brits did in Ireland. And that makes sense because like the Brits kind of honed their craft in Ireland and then took it, across the globe for several hundred years. But it's just, I hate that we have to have this conversation in the year of someone's Lord 2024 that, Ollie Gordon came from this horrible background. Now he's got money. And look what happens when you give him money. He goes out and get drunk because he doesn't know how to handle himself. And it's like bullshit, man. And see, what pisses me off most is the fact that there are people out there saying this about him right now, knowing goddamn well their dad's got 3 of them, 2 of them stacked up, one on top of the other because he had a suspended license.
Well, the coach bragged about his own drunk driving.
Well, it's because Gundy, see, this is what pisses me off. This is what happens when you let a coach become entrenched in the university. He played football there. He went away for a few years to kind of cut his teeth as an assistant, came back, grew a shitty mullet, and has kind of lorded it over that university since. And when you look at, he's the 3rd longest tenured head coach in college football. The
20 years. He's been 20 years there. Who's longer than him?
Kyle Whittingham at Utah. And
oh, wow.
Shit, Jason.
I
just looked at it before
Is it some like small school?
No, it was another big one, man. Hold on. I'll look it up real quick.
Cutcliffe, is he still at Duke?
No, he's been gone a couple years, man.
I don't know who's been coaching that long. I
And
thought we
keep in
got
mind, Cutcliffe only
just a
coached
coordinator,
there
right?
at Duke like 6 years. Kirk Ferentz, that's the other one.
Really? Iowa?
Yes, he's been at Iowa since '99.
Good
I
defense.
forget about him because they only play 2 facets out of 3, defense and special teams. So they don't play offense in Iowa. You're great. Well, hot mess. The fact of the matter is, Jason has been known to spread his seeds. So.
Knock on wood. I'm not a grandparent yet. I haven't gotten that phone call, and I don't need it now.
The thing is,
how long has
Jason,
Dabo Swinney been at Clemson?
He's probably pushing 15 years now. Because when did Bowden get pushed out? Was it like 08, 07?
Was it longer? Oh, you mean the other Bowden?
Yeah,
I'm
Terry.
thinking of Bobby.
No, I'm thinking Terry. And remember, there was a whole other Bowden that coached at Auburn the year they had. He went undefeated the year they had sanctions and couldn't go to a bowl game.
Oh wow, dude. Again, I don't want to spend too much time talking about Mike Gundy because F that dude and his mullet, but I do find it fascinating that you have an opportunity to kind of show the world a better way to handle a possible drinking problem with a young person.
Absolutely.
Right.
Excuse me. It was Tommy Bowden. I apologize, Jason. And he was fired in 08. So that's when Dabo got there. So he started in the 09 season.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
It feels like the turnover's been greater because I think we grew up at the end of that moment where coaches were there for like a million years.
Yeah.
They were there like, he hired the first ever black popcorn salesman here.
Like Jackie Merrill at Mississippi State. You know, Jackie, you've been here 30 years. What's your greatest achievement? What is your greatest achievement, Jackie? Well, let's see. Oh, I hired the first black equipment manager in Mississippi State football history. I did. It was 1998.
I let a black man come in the front door of my house. Momentous occasion. We brought the band in for it. Didn't let that nigger eat in the kitchen, but he sure did come in the front door. Go and eat at the kids' table. I don't give a fuck if you're the mayor.
You know what the sad thing is? Like all these Southern head coaches, like Dabo, you know, I love all my players equally. I really do. But I can see them like in their office, like that motherfucker. I swear to God, if he don't move his black ass,
just dropping in,
just going hard R.
Like it's World War II.
Oh, God.
They're flying over Britain.
Dropping him like it's Dresden in 45, right?
Oh no, the N-bombs are coming. The Negroes have left the building. He's just letting them fly.
Like, I just know that's how they are because that's how they fucking grew up. You know, like it's, you know, I give people the credit that they can change. Like I changed. I went from this like really limp-wristed kind of liberal, and now I am someone who will gladly take a bullet for communism, right? And now, like I look at some like living in the South as long as I have, I'm just like, you motherfuckers still think segregation was good. You don't have to lie about it. I can see it in your face.
Well, remember, I told you about what Bert Cooper was telling me about the school books, right? I told you about that, didn't I? About how when one state, like a large one like Texas, buys school books for the whole region, Florida for the whole region. So when they kind of reimagine the Civil War and slavery as this happier time, like the Boondock skit where the slaves are singing and eating. Like when you reimagine slavery like that, that's literally what people are learning in school.
Yeah. My brother teaches in South Carolina, and he's like, dude, it is 10 times better than it was in North Carolina because he taught in Charlotte. And the North Carolina General Assembly essentially mirrored Florida's law that DeSantis signed in
Mhm.
that teaches, slavery taught Black people important life skills that helped them when they were freed.
Like obedience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean Moon says, "Oh no."
Oh, no, my brother.
Sean Moon. Wait, we got to give it to Sean Moon.
No, my brother.
But that's the thing. These fucking southern states are falling back on that, and it's people Dabo's age that are doing it.
Because there's talk, like, again, back to that San Francisco article, this city doesn't care about crime. Now, context, Chesa Boudin, an openly socialist man, won the DA position in San Francisco, riding a wave of goodwill after the Bernie Sanders defeat in 2016.
Didn't he beat a woman
Up.
that was a DA that like really scaled back her prosecutions, and like essentially all the white people in San Francisco were like, you need to stop. We need to get you out of here. Or am I getting the city wrong? Because
I don't remember that. I remember him kind of riding this crazy goodwill. I think it might have been a man he replaced. I could be wrong. I'm confusing Kamala Harris's time in office too.
You mean our next president?
Maybe. But everybody was all about putting socialists in city council.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to speak for San Francisco. Across the board, this was happening. We were talking about Fetterman the other day, right? He was going to be a leftist. Look at he's got a hoodie.
He wears shorts in the winter. So does everybody else in the Midwest, dude. It's not that cool.
But Chesa gets chased out of office because he starts getting blamed, because one of the first things he did was get rid of all the corrupt people in the office that were like covering up police misconduct stuff. And he was like, look, man, I'm going to go after these cops that are beating the shit out of people and shooting people. And we're just not going to throw these kids away. That was the sentiment in 2018 across the board. We were seeing more quote unquote progressive district attorneys getting positions in major metropolitan areas.
Yep.
Right. Why does one then get ousted? And you can say all you want about right-wing money. Like, I get that. As much as I like Chesa, I think he didn't have a good rebuttal to the crime problem, which wasn't murder. It was break-ins. He was very flippant about break-ins and almost flippant about the fact that murder rates were down, which they were. And just, we don't know how to combat that conversation. And I'm wondering if you can use a situation like this young man to broaden people's understanding of why thinking of things so morally, being so punishment first, is a problem. Now, back to those kids that robbed those people that got out. Had they been convicted, they would have been in jail for 7 years. Their life is done. You're a convicted felon after that, and you served prison time as a child, 17? I have a 17-year-old right now. Love him to death. He just graduated high school. He's 6 feet, gorgeous. Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
I would do everything in my power to serve his time.
I mean, and isn't this the hard, like you said, where do we come up with the rebuttal? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is more of an American thing than anything. We have constantly, and when I say we, guys, it's just the royal we, it's the American we. We pride ourselves on the amount of people we have incarcerated, because you know what, they're not on the streets committing crimes anymore. And it's kind of been drilled into the American culture that we have to do this to show that we're tough on crime. Not that we're solving crime, not that we're doing anything to really combat it. We're just imprisoning people. And then, we've talked on this a couple of times too, Jason. Cops get that inch and take a mile.
Oh
and just
God, yes.
ruin people's lives with stupid, felonious charges that a lot of DAs that will absolutely just lean into it because they're in an election year, or they are catching hell from the donor base. And by the donor base, I mean the really rich fuckers who can get away with like donating unlimited money through some corporation because, America's smart. But, you know, how do we format that rebuttal to actually make people listen? Because I agree with you, Jason. We shouldn't be ruining a kid's life at the very beginning. You know, that should be something we should be getting away from, but we're actually leaning more into it. More states are passing horrible laws that allow children as young as 14 to be charged as adults in certain crimes.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Now, Brooke Jenkins, the current DA in San Francisco, who replaced Chesa Boudin because she came in saying, no, 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 no. We're going to throw out all this police investigation stuff and we're going to put people back under the jail. She came out and said, we're going to charge 16 and 17-year-olds as adults for crimes like murder, rape, and I think certain types of assaults. And again, the DA and the judge was like, it's a robbery. Sadly, it happens. It's a major metropolitan area. You got your camera. Like, what do you want from this?
Yeah.
And they wanted their pound of flesh. They were like, this isn't justice. And vengeance is always taken out of the conversation, even in the news. And I don't care what news site, what newspaper you're reading. It's always about justice and it's always about revenge. And it's like we just spent 4 years talking about the perils of mass incarceration. And here we are across the board. Democrats are returning to third wave legislation to be much tougher on crime. The border, foreign wars, there's just no difference. The only difference is between these two old dudes running for office at the presidential level is that one is just going to do more evil shit to prove a point that he can do evil shit, i.e.
Yep.
child separation.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, and this is the thing, especially when you look at, the fallacy that Democrats are more understanding. You just point out that border. What did Biden do? Dumped a shit ton of money into putting up even more like violent anti-crossing measures, without dealing with the fact that there's a reason people come here. And it's because the United States decided to stick its dick into every country's Kool-Aid in Central and South America and has done nothing but destabilize those countries since fucking the 1830s.
1839, right? That's when we have like the documented evidence.
Yeah. And I mean, when people say, a lot of people know I'm into history and I'm a big fucking nerd, and I will say it about myself, but if you say it about me, I will beat the shit out of you.
Different story.
When they say what is one of the most, they're like, give me the top 5 most harmful American documents. And I always, number 1, the Monroe Doctrine. Yeah. It gave the United States free will, to do whatever they wanted in this hemisphere. And we have done nothing good. Nothing. And they're just like, oh, that's bullshit. They were protecting themselves from what? From what? The French weren't coming over here. There wasn't a Germany yet. The Russian, empire was, fucking falling in on itself, even in the 1830s. The Ottomans were going to make the trip? Nope. The Brits, they had more pressing issues everywhere else on the globe. We had no right to do what we did, in the 19th century. And then we pick it up in the 20th. Because of we have to fight communism.
Yes.
Even though those people directly elected that, these communists to represent them. What about democracy? Well, it's not real democracy if it's communists doing it. Oh. I thought one ballot, one vote. No, that's not real democracy if the communists are doing it. We need markets. Fuck you guys, man. You know, how about we address those things? You know, and you're not going to make up, you know, damn near 200 years of interference and dick slinging and Kool-Aid, you know, in a year or two. But how about we start addressing those issues, and then maybe you can stem the tide of these people that are just like trying to exist, which, you know, I like how they fucking detest these people that are escaping the regimes that, while the names may change, are the same ones we installed in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. The same fucking ones that just murder and keep people in poverty. They starve them out. They think that's okay, but they're doing the same fucking thing to their own citizens. The US government is doing it to us right fucking now. But rather than the military doing it, it's fucking cops and private security. How are we starving now? We're going to blame it on inflation, but we allow these giant conglomerated corporations that control our food to just jack up prices to whatever the fuck they want. And
And
now,
if you steal,
oh, guess
and
what?
I get back to private security, and I hate to say it, this is probably going to run afoul of a lot of people. Private security is way worse than the cops.
Oh, absolutely.
That trigger finger is mighty itchy.
Dude, you are not fucking kidding. You are not
Mighty
kidding. I
itchy.
deployed with those idiots.
Mighty itchy.
No rules for them.
Yeah.
None.
There's more legislation making it easier, for these companies to hire people to carry, and also for the companies that hire the security companies to not be at fault when someone gets shot for shoplifting.
Yeah, I didn't realize. And see, this is what I find ridiculous is that for me, very few crimes deserve death. It's just, I mean, for me, a child molester, fuck you, you get the wall, bro. There's no, nah, I don't give a shit about your trauma. You touched a child, you took advantage of a kid. I'm not even gonna give you the cigarette or the blindfold. It's just gonna be 10 dudes in front of you. And I'm not even gonna just have one person with a round. We're all shooting your ass, right?
Jesus.
Yeah, I cannot stand fucking child molesters. My cousins were some of the victims of, you know, the Catholic Church, and I've got no sympathy for people who prey on children. You know, but and rape, I'm sorry. I just, with my daughter being 15, dude,
Mhm.
man, if that ever happened to her, that dude's a dead man. And I know where a nice pig farm is, so I could allegedly just make him disappear. But like shoplifting, it's stuff. You
Mhm.
know, it's stuff. I don't know why. Like, we've went so far down the capitalist fucking like wormhole
Mhm.
that we pride ourselves on stuff
Mhm.
and value stuff more
Mhm.
than people. And I will never understand that, you know?
Well, does
Like,
it have to do with the moralizing of people and behavior and what becomes worthless, and because the thing to me that, like, because I worked and lived amongst, kind of the dregs of society, murderers, rapists, child molesters.
hey, it's funny. You and I did it just in different organizations.
Yeah, that's when you're giving away the dollar to the guy asking for food. A lot of times, they, they hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Um, and it changed the way I saw a lot of that stuff, because I always see people as, everyone has the ability to make amends, to change. If all we want to do is punish, we're really good at that, but it hasn't really made the world a better place
I would say
or safer.
I would say it's made it worse and less safe. Um, I mean, especially when people are desperate, right? When you've got someone so desperate they have to steal food, you know, just to make it, knowing damn well that if I get busted with this, depending on the value, it could be a felony and I could go away for a long time. Um, you know, our populace, the people, should not be terrified just to do what they have to do to make sure that they eat or their family eats, because
Yeah.
you know we're being priced out of the ability to eat.
Yeah.
you know? And see, this is where the big disjointed thing comes in, right? You get these well-meaning liberals, or you get these, Trumpist fucking conservatives that are like, well, there's cheap food out there. Yes, there is. And it's full of bullshit.
Yes.
Absolute poison. Right? And you're killing yourself if you eat that day after day after day. You know? I mean, this is what I don't understand. We will sit there and be like, the FDA comes out, well, don't eat this shit, man. It's, I mean, fuck, dude, Jason, we can't even sell bread in Europe because it's considered cake because there's so much sugar in it.
Oh, anything from the US
Right?
has the warning label that this is high in sodium and high in sugar.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
FDA even says, don't eat this. But they allow companies to sell it to us. And when, some well-meaning do-gooder is like, well, I make grass-fed meat. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to charge $19 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
Who except the douchebags that shop at that Amazon store where you can just kind of like scan in and then scan out?
Yeah.
Those are the people that buy that shit. Like we sit here and dump. It's over $1 trillion, our defense budget, when you factor in the partnership with DOE about atomic weapons.
Mm-hmm.
$1 trillion. We spend that on defense. And from what?
Brown people.
Yeah. And I get motherfuckers, Jason, that look at me like, look what the Taliban did. Bro, I just want you to know, war is a family business in Afghanistan. Dad fought in the 80s. Cool. I'm going to teach my kids because it could happen again. Or we will fight a civil war. Those kids have been ready to do this shit since they were like 5. And when they grew up, they knew what to do. That's why we couldn't get a handle on it. That and, drones, killing civilians, ruin any goodwill we had. Like, they're very formidable. But
well,
are they
the terrorist machine of anti-terrorism, right?
Yeah, but like, who the fuck is coming over here?
But can't you use that same logic in the way we look at policing in our own urban environments, right? It's the, how do we get these no-gooders off the street? And then arrest them more. It's like you're going to keep making more no-gooders.
You need to throw the wink in there too. Those no-gooders.
Those no-gooders.
Right? Like, we know who you're talking about, dude.
How do we throw more of these poors in prison? And again, I don't know the kids' financial makeup. I don't know if they had a good lawyer in this San Francisco case. I don't know. Maybe they could be white kids for all I know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
But what I do know, because I don't care, what I do know is that everybody involved was like, they don't seem to be a threat. But the story that's going to get told is this woman has PTSD now because of this assault. They're not going to call it a robbery. They're going to call it an assault.
Mm-hmm.
She's never going to be the same. Therefore, these 17-year-old boys should also never be the same.
And see, like, I hate that she feels traumatized by this. That sucked. That really does, right? Like, I've had a lot of guns pointed at me, but never directly at my head, real or fake. It's a jarring experience when a weapon is brandished in your direction. But like, I'll never understand these fuckers that talk about believing in God and then have zero of Jesus's forgiveness. Like, dude, my last week at Papa John's, man, some dude tried to rob me. I was
really?
Yeah, I was walking back to my car after delivery. He had a knife. I always carry, but my first thought wasn't to pull a gun and shoot the dude. He was like, "Hey man, just give me the cash." I was like, "Bro, I haven't done any cash deliveries tonight, so I don't have anything to give you." And he's like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, most people pay."
He said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. And I was like, "But what I can do is I can take you down to the store and I can give you some food." And he's like, "Are you for real?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he got in the front seat of my car, still with the knife in his hand, which I thought was hilarious. and he saw my pistol and he was like, "Oh shit, you gonna shoot me?" And I'm like, "Nah, dude. Literally, the store's right down the street. Just hang out in the car. I'll give you the pizza, and you could walk out and do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care." Um, so that's what I did, and he was shocked. He's like, I pointed a knife at you, and I was like, "Dude, I could have smoked you like 6 times, and I didn't." I was like, "I know what it's like to be hungry. I know. I fucking grew up dirt poor. I mean, shit. There were times where we had a dog that ran away. I ate the dry dog food with
Oh,
water in it.
oh.
You know, I did what I had to do. Like, I know what it's like to go hungry. And I was like, dude, just ask next time. I was like, one, you probably wouldn't know where to stab me. Hey, Timothy, I know. That's why I got a new job. Okay. But I was
Search says, what year did he think it was? Everybody's paying. Like, hey man, it's DoorDash all night for me, man.
Yeah, but I told him, like, dude, you wouldn't know where to stab me to actually make it hurt. He was like, I was gonna stab you in the leg. I was like, that would bother me, but you're not putting me down. And he's like, oh. So I was like, you probably should just toss a knife, take the food. And I was like, go fuck off, do whatever hell you want with your evening, But like, it's okay to forgive when somebody does bad shit to you, like it happens. And we could do a lot better as a society if we leaned into that, rather than trying to be punitive with everything we do. There's a way to teach lessons without making it hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
but we're so good at portraying bad behavior again as like social failings and inherent to the character and just the makeup, the physical makeup of these people, right? Like, oh, this is an inner city street tough that's from a long line of inner city street toughs.
I mean, that is a good vocation to have if you can.
They're never going to get right. And the only thing you can do with this surplus population of street toughs, if you want a safe society, is lock them up. It's in the chemical makeup of their brains.
Yeah. And again, I when I just look at the United States in this, right, we have so many self-proclaimed Christians that disavow the Old Testament 9 times out of 10, except when it comes to punishment. Right?
Yeah.
But then they're like, I am more of a New Testament Christian. Okay, cool. Which is all about forgiveness of sins. And they're like, oh, but Jesus punished people. I'm like, not in the New Testament, bro. You need to pick up your little holy book again and read it some more. Like,
yeah, it's a very different God in the New Testament.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, it's like with this prosperity doctrine shit too. Like Jesus, God and Jesus want me to be rich, and they want you to give me more money so I can fly a private jet. Oh yeah, I don't rent it, I bought it. So you can be like money. You can be like Joel Osteen, who owns a fucking church that is bigger than the basketball arena in Houston. And when the city flooded, what did he do? Put up sandbags and kept everybody out.
Look, that's not my Jesus. My Jesus has a very nice suit.
Ooh,
it's very well kempt gentleman.
See, the suit says he's formal, but he likes to party.
He says, yeah, he's got a mullet. He wore the mullet of his day,
and he,
jump, jive, and then you gotta jump, jive, and.
See, the suit Jason's talking about is yet a zoot suit. His Jesus does swing. The Brian Setzer Orchestra.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Has a chariot that looks like a fucking Studebaker.
Just big flared wings on the
side. His chariot's got flames on the side.
The wheels they're not wooden, Jason. It's the two-tone, it's the white wall.
White wall. Jesus. Eric W's Jesus has white wall fucking chariot wheels. Gene Bajlan. What's up, Gene? Gene's in the UK right now.
Oh, Gene, that election was spectacular. I don't know what I loved more. Keir Starmer with his, I challenged them to move even further to try and meet in the middle, or the leftist coalition pulling the election out in France, and they might have the numbers, Jason, to essentially tell Macron and Ensemble, the centrist party, to go fuck themselves. So I love that, because at the
Does
first,
Gene want to come in and talk about the British election, or is he just still pissed off about it?
well, I don't think it's good that the current form of labor took over, because it's sadly not the labor.
Keep fucking.
It's
That's what Gene said when the election happened.
Keir Starmer would, but I challenged him to go further and to keep fucking, just keep going further. That's like his watchword, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. I cannot stand that man. But it was funny watching Rishi Sunak fall on his sword after 14 months. I thought that was hilarious. But back to the actual topic here. I'm trying to stay focused.
Which is Oklahoma NIL.
Oklahoma State NIL. This is going to be a problem. That with the introduction of NIL, I don't think, if you are going to sit here and be this moralistic kind of outfit where we expect these athletes to always be on their P's and Q's and never make a mistake, the NCAA is going to have to take over punishment. And the conferences and the schools will never give that up. Ever. So I think what's really going to set off a shitstorm, Jason, is Mike Gundy saying, I'm not going to suspend this guy.
Because I can't.
Yeah. But you have an SEC school with a similar situation that suspends a player for 2 games. At that point, every one of these fucking talking heads, from Jim Rome to Skip Bayless to every dickhead who writes about sports, either in a blog or on a real website, you're going to have 9 million differing opinions, and none of them are going to agree with each other.
Do you think, where the rubber meets the road, do you think a kid gets that suspension and goes, well, then I'm out, I'm transferring?
I think some would. But see, this is the thing with the loosening up of the transfer rules. Like all these stupid, goofy, 28-year-old college football purists think, college football was better back in the 40s. We should not have introduced the forward pass.
And blacks.
Yeah. The best college football team ever? The 44 Army team, okay? Shut the fuck up, dude. The wing T offense is boring. Go get hit by a bus and shut up, but they have this hard on for, things were tougher back then. They punished players back then. No, the fuck they didn't. SMU. Those kids didn't get in trouble. The school did. Fucking don't act like I'm an Ohio State fan. I guarantee you, at one point or another, all right, every head coach has cut a check to a player. Every fucking one of them. Same thing at USC. John Robinson was probably handing him out of the side of his gold Cadillac. I'd fucking put money on it. It's how it is. It's how it was. And the players didn't get punished for it. And you know what else they did? Went on ridiculous coke benders in the 80s and had, hookers delivered to their dorm rooms. They didn't get punished.
Some are in the NFL Hall of Fame.
No shit. Some of them, damn near all of them, are in the College Football Hall of Fame. Right?
They're broadcasters.
Yeah.
they're athletic directors.
Yeah, Trev Alberts, case in point.
Oof. He looks like he just did bumps off a hooker's ass.
Oh, dude, he admitted. He was like, I was high a lot in the 80s and early 90s, man. I was just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Timothy, they ruined the game with helmets. And it's like a 19-year-old kid saying it. They'd be tougher if they didn't wear pads.
All right, you go out and play.
Well, see, that's my favorite thing when football fans say that. They're like, look at rugby. I'm like, dude, rugby's a whole different sport, bro. And they actually teach you how to tackle.
Yeah.
They don't in football. you kind of want that, like, I mean, I heard a kid that was pissing and moaning about so many players wearing visors.
Why?
And I was like, dude, do you know how bright it is out there? Because our sun, I think, is moving, like we're moving closer to it. So it's
But
really
why?
bright out there.
That's what the person was mad at.
Oh, dude, his whole thing was, keep in mind, this is like a kid in his early 20s.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't recognize players anymore. I was like, when do you recognize players to begin with, man? I was like,
And why does that matter?
because then they'd be more personable. That's why he likes soccer and basketball.
What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, naturally, it was a soldier. What do you expect?
It's like, okay, so you have to follow him on Instagram to give a shit. I said this the other day because everybody was like jumping down. Not everybody, but I was on Twitter for 5 seconds and it was 5 seconds too long. I was posting something for the show, and I saw all these people like digging in on Stephen King because I guess he said something about the Russian bombing a hospital.
Oh, yeah, in Kiev.
Like, oh, we'll talk about Joe Biden. And I was like, why do you give a fuck what Stephen King has to say? Like, I don't give a fuck what Stephen King has to say about anything that doesn't pertain to books or horror.
Exactly. Dude, are we getting another unabridged version of The Stand? That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, give a fuck. Give a fuck what you say.
Like, Steven, did you mean to tie the Dark Tower series into the book Insomnia? Or did that just come later in the writing process? At that point, I'll listen to Stephen King.
Like, are you listening to Deion Sanders talk about anything relating to any other than football?
I'm going to tell you right now, Jason. The only person from Maine I want to speak to is Marcus. Outside of that, fuck all of them.
I'm not. I'm like, who gives a shit about what any celebrity has to say about anything?
Yeah, and like Deion, like this is what pisses me off about this, right? Like I think he's good for the sport. He's one of the biggest names to ever put a helmet on. One of the best players at his position. Yeah. He brings a lot of eyes to a school that has been a doormat since like the early 90s.
Yeah.
Right? But like why does it matter? Like everybody made a big deal about what he wore to media day. Like he wore a hoodie underneath like a jacket like he does.
Why is that a big deal?
Because it's really hot outside, Jason. So why would he wear this inside?
My God.
Right? And it's just like, that's what you're drawing from a conversation from a coach who after his first year in the big leagues went 4-8, who somehow thinks that because he hit the transfer portal again and he's got his son back, he's going to win. He's going to do a bowl game. And I'm like, bruh, you didn't bring in enough people to put in front of your son for him to live.
Shedeur Sanders, side note, Mac and I both agree with this. For me, it was Caleb Williams and then Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders was throwing darts with 9 guys chasing him.
Easily. And the only 2 that weren't chasing him were in coverage thinking about starting to chase him.
The fact that they were able to win or stay competitive in those games they lost a close one to USC.
Yeah. And say, this is the thing. People like, and I'm not trying to like say you're wrong, but like they had a close one against USC and then would go ahead and get blown out the next week.
Yeah.
And that's because you have no offensive line, you have a shitty defense, and your entire offense is predicated around your son and Travis Henry somehow staying healthy. Or not Travis Hunter. The amazing young man that plays offense and defense. And Joey, I think Deion has another 4-8 year, man. Like the last year of the Pac-12 as we know it was great from top to bottom. You had a lot of surprises. Like they went out the best they could. But that Pac-12 conference wasn't, with the addition of the teams this year, even losing Texas and Oklahoma, like, come on, man. Hey, Donnell, we love Michael Penix here. We really talked up Michael Penix. I want nothing but good things for him. I just kind of question
This was like the
Atlantis.
Michael Penix show.
Yeah,
I've been talking about Michael Penix since I first met Mac, and I was like, "There's this kid in Indiana."
dude. Yes, Jason was.
I said, if he makes it to another school or something, he's pretty good. He was like, "Nah, man, Indiana. I know who you're talking about. No, and this is why." And his knees.
I did, but see, I had to see Indiana Michael Penix. I didn't expect to see. Honestly, playing under Kalen DeBoer was the best thing for him.
Yes.
The shitty part is how is he going to be wasted in Atlanta?
Yes.
Because Kirk Cousins was not happy with the pick. He initially said it and then walked it back. Like, I just thought I was coming here to be the starter. And then it was, I appreciate competition in the quarterback room. Someone hand me a gold chain so I can shake my hips and everybody thinks I'm cool.
And that's I hate this whole thing about competition. Like, hey, we need competition. Hey, you need competition. Why? Good. You want to go back to the good old days? Go back to the good old days of fucking quarterbacks smoking a cigarette on the sidelines.
Just center, like he just got sacked because some tackle ran up the center. He's like, "Hey, dickhead, come here." Is that a hot dog? Are you really eating a hot dog after Lawrence Taylor just spiked my whole face? Oh, you fucking dickhead.
That's the quarterback I want going.
He puts a cigarette out in the dude's helmet. He's like, "Yeah, that's what I think of you right now, dickhead."
Calling his own plays in the dirt. Like, I'm more down with that. Fuck competition. Why do you want job insecurity at every level? This is part of that neoliberalism of sports where all sports analysts are fucking financial analysts for
oh god, dude, that's
for
what
consulting firms.
Dude, that's what killed me with JJ Redick getting that fucking job. He was a great color dude, but you know what he did?
You just talked about Dion though. But you just talked about Dion.
I know. My thing is JJ Redick, when he retired, got into the financial advising for like player stuff and then realized it was going to be a little harder to do, So he got an easy job because that's what all shorter 3-point snipers that are white end up doing. They go to ESPN. It's like ESPN is like, you know what, Mark Jackson, you're fired. And he's like, what? Why am I getting fired? I thought I did really well. You did actually, but there's a shorter white shooting guard that's retiring. We're going to bring him in to take your spot.
Deja vu.
Yeah. Should have known this was going to happen.
Mark Jackson talks about institutional racism. You got to look at him and be like, well, I can see that. I can see why you say that. That's
you see Mark Jackson just starts striking Malcolm poses. I mean,
Mark Jackson sees a 6'4" white man.
He hears one talk, sweetie, we're going to Abercrombie. And he just like takes off running, leaves his family,
sitting just in a fetal position in a cold sweat. Those championships were mine. No, they weren't.
Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, brother.
It's funny, like Golden State sends him like half a championship ring, so he can't even like put it on a chain, He's just like, oh.
We got you a championship earring and just make sure you wear it in the right ear.
Oh man.
I hope Mark Jackson comes across this and is like, motherfuckers think they real funny.
You know what, Timothy? That's exactly what I would say. My league would have no white coaches, and I would tell the press, I don't see color.
My league would have no white coaches.
Not a one. You know what I would do to really throw off like the right wingers? I'd hire a Dominican coach.
Ooh.
One
of those Afro Dominicans where you can't really tell and they got nappy ass fucking hair.
Dude, and they just speak Spanish with like the thickest accent. I thought they played good today.
Does Mark Jackson still get offended at that point? Or does he see it as a small win?
Mark Jackson over there in the corner.
Again and again, the white man sees a black man building a franchise for a dynasty.
I had Steph, I had Clay, I had Draymond, and they took it from me.
I had all the light-skinned sharpshooters. If you had a white mama, you were no drama. That was my team. And the white man took it over from me.
Oh my god. I still don't know how we don't have a syndicated show on like Sirius yet, man. I think it's only a matter of time. There's gonna be some dickhead producer like, you guys hurt? Listen to this. And they go through that. If you have a white mama, there won't be no drama. The serious people are like, wow. Wow, this is edgy.
Well, yeah, this is the show that, remember when Fox was gonna be like the edgy sports channel? Like, look, we got Shannon Sharp, and he's country as shit. And now, then they flip on this. They're like, oh fuck, they do it. No.
I mean, that's like the weird thing about the sports wars. After ESPN had a stranglehold on it for 20 something years, Fox is like, we're going to dump all this Murdoch and Fox News money into sports. And the thing is, they couldn't sign a fucking contract. And then they get the NFL from CBS.
Yeah.
And like CBS is just like, well, we have the Masters. You know? And the thing is, it's like nothing drives me more nuts. Like I was watching the UFL, and they split games between like ABC, ESPN, and Fox, because Fox owned the USFL, and I would be watching a USFL game, and like honestly, outside of San Antonio and Birmingham and St. Louis, those teams did not draw well. I was kind of surprised that nobody's like.
It's a rough go for the USFL right now.
It is. But like I'd be watching commercial hits, and it's like it's a commercial for the Fox America app, and it's like, come see Kevin Costner only on Fox America, and I'm like, why the fuck would I want to see Kevin Costner?
To see Kevin Costner do anything?
Yes, if it's not a baseball movie, don't
people give a shit about him still.
Dude, he just did this whole, like, he did like a 3-hour movie about the history of the American West, and it's going to be 3 different movies, dude.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, you could have told me Kevin Costner's going to actually castrate himself on national television. Like, oh, that's cool for him. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of pumped he got divorced, and she took him for a lot of money, and he's fighting in court and shit. I was like, good, fuck that guy.
If I see like people that look like Kevin Costner, I'm like, I'm going to avoid this guy. Could be the greatest guy ever. I'm like, look like Kevin Costner. I saw Bull Durham.
Oh, dude, for love of the game, like
I
Draft Room. I watched Draft Room where he played Sonny something, the general manager of the Browns.
You went too deep into Kevin Costner and keep fucking with me.
It's like when Abed. Have you watched? Have you watched Community? Right, Abed. Abed goes too deep into Nick Cage, and he's just talk like this. Fucking hilarious, man.
Like, I've never met a person that's like, I'm a big Kevin Costner fan. Because if I met that person, I'm like, ooh.
Oh, dude, he's huge in right-wing circles now.
Why?
Just fucking huge, because he says what they want to say, but the only platform he has is Fox America.
Oh, Fox America is what it sounds like then.
Yeah, dude. Like,
oh, that sounds gross.
Yeah. It's just he's one of those dudes that, survived in Hollywood for however long, and fucking, he's like John Voight, but like 30 years younger, which is saying something because he's like in his 60s, isn't he?
John Voight is still alive?
Yeah.
John Voight is older than that. That motherfucker's old as shit.
If you thought you were pissed off when we hired Rush Limbaugh, wait till you get a load of our morning duo. Cut to Jason doing his Malcolm X impression while talking about
Joey, that's the dream, brother. That is the dream.
Yes. In our like our logo for the show is going to be the drawing I'll finish with Dr. King just peering out of the corner of his eye, and there's just a pog bending over.
Badass.
In yoga pants.
I want to do this thing, Mac. I sent Mac, so a while back, we did this thing where I was trying to figure out Oh God. Sorry. It's just in my ear really loud.
Yeah, that was kind of loud.
Shut up. Wait. Wait.
Shut up your face.
So I was trying to figure out who this one gymnast was, and I couldn't think of this gymnast's name. And what was funny was everyone on the show probably like 48 college
Oh, dude, yeah.
but we couldn't get the woman's name. We get books via PDF and I have to read them on my phone because anyway. And so I've taken off all the social media apps off my phone.
Smart man.
Well, it's so addictive that you look for shit to scroll. So I'm actually reading Mike Watson's new book, which he quoted me in. I fucking right before we came.
Bro,
so anyway,
it's only a matter of time before you're a clue on Jeopardy.
Paul Chaser, ML.
where Ken, what's his name, will be like, this podcast host enjoys pogs or single yoga instructors. I'll be screaming at the TV. I know this one.
That's Jay. That's Jay. And so I was like, oh, I don't have any scroll shit. So you know what I did? I went to fucking YouTube. I'm such a dope fiend. I go to YouTube like, and fucking, for whatever reason, I wasn't thinking about female gymnasts at all. And the gymnast chick appears in a reel. I texted Mac at 3 a.m. my time.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing that he hopefully wouldn't answer the phone. And Sean Moon got it.
Yep.
Oh, because you can see it on the screen. Sorry.
Sorry,
I'm all thinking Sean Moon's.
I got up at like 5:30 to go to the gym, and it was waiting for me, this message. And so I'm putting my sneakers on. I'm packing my gym bag. I'm getting my work clothes together, and I'm just like, play. And then you hear like the narrator of the video is like, Caitlin Ohashi, da 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 da, clam slam. And I was like, what?
Max sends me a message back. I'm not expecting any message back. He just writes clam slam.
Yep. That was it.
The podcaster host started the passport, bro.
Jason just starts like a fucking commune down in just they're all podcasters.
We call it pogcasters. See, Newer Yank says, oh, she is thick. Okay, now look what this is. I want you guys to watch this, and this is why when Max says it's the female gymnasts that are leading in the NIL money. I was like, I believe it.
Today, we're diving into the world of gymnastics and focusing on a true superstar, the amazing Caitlin Ohashi. Ohashi is a powerhouse gymnast. There is no doubt about it. She's got incredible grace, insane flexibility, and a whole arsenal of signature moves that leave audiences speechless. But there is one move in particular that has become synonymous with Ohashi, a move so unique, so mind-blowing, that it's earned its own name, the clam slam. It's this
Bro.
Do you see what Donnell said? That she was body shamed in who body shamed her? What 75-year-old white guys are body shaming this woman? Like, seriously.
Well, dude, the women's North American an arsenal of Jesus Christ. So there's a female wrestler, Jason, and she's the North American champ on NXT. She was a collegiate gymnast at MSU, Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
And she quit because she was up there with those shitty coaches under the Nasser shit because she had tits. Like, that's what it was. They literally told her, gymnasts don't have breasts like yours.
Yeah.
You should probably quit.
Wow.
Yeah. Never mind that she like was all conference like her sophomore year, like. And then she signed WWE has this thing called NIL, but it's called Next in Line, So,
Yes.
you know, what they do is they target collegiate athletes and they're like, hey, go pro in your sport, but if it doesn't work out, you can come train and maybe have a go at professional wrestling. And they're killing it, dude. They are fucking killing it. And, you know, I was just like, dude, like, especially when they say she was body shamed into quitting. Like, why?
Too much cake.
She's got them.
She had too much cake.
She got them watermelon crushers, man.
Insanely cool move where she launches herself into the air, doing a mid-air split before making a smooth and powerful landing.
And cake.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of feel dirty for seeing this. I am 42. I will be 43 in November. But goddamn.
Look. All her teammates, you go, girl, right? And look at this dude right here. My God.
I know.
He's sitting there like that's MLK right there. My God.
He's sweating heavily. Jason's like, oh no.
All this cake got me sweating like a dope fiend in church. My God. And the congregation of dudes starts clapping. Preach, Brother Martin.
Every woman in there's like taking off their big hat and beating the dude with it.
And dudes just fanning. They snatched their wife's hat and they're fanning themselves off. I went to the NCAA tournament, and there I saw the cakiest of backs. She had yams and she did the clam slam. My God. Preach, Martin. Woo!
Oh, man.
My letter says hallelujah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
When I saw those cheeks clap, damn near my neck snapped, my God. This is why it's really hard for me to get picked up by bigger channels.
Because the phrase "death by snoo snoo" comes to mind with this lady. See, we didn't let any of you down. We had a very serious discussion for a very long time.
I was so excited when I found this, like, oh, Mac, this is the person. But I didn't even watch the video. I just saw the name and I sent it to you. And when you sent it back, you're like, clam slam. I was like, oh, let me watch the video. And I watched it. I was like, no shit.
Dude, I almost died because the narrator's just like pretty cool through the entire thing. She's got a really great move called nicknamed the Clam Slam. And I was like dying, dude. Dying. Joey, what the fuck are you doing in Walmart at this time of night?
Looks at Walmart. Hey, I hope that you're listening, like not in headphones so you can hear. We're talking about this gymnast. She's got to be like 5 feet tall, all ass.
All of it. Just
all ass. While you're walking around Walmart, mad at life, turn on YouTube to This Is Revolution and you can watch us just be horrible pieces of poo. I'm going to do an impersonation of all of your people's hero, right and left, MLK, fawning over all of this ass. All that ass. There you go, Joey. Have fun at Walmart.
Jay Sefri, I don't even know what wushu is, man. I'm not going to lie.
Wushu is the sound it makes when she fucking... when she walks by. Oh, the wushu.
Oh, Joey's just hungry. He's like, you know, I'll support my buddies.
Joey, while you're buying that fucking tough ass rotisserie chicken. Raw boo boo. The whole chicken smelled like raw boo boo.
Dude, can you imagine her like being in WWE and that's her finisher?
Oh my God. I'm sure, dude, we have to be honest. This woman has to be getting a contract from them. They have to be offering her stupid money.
Dude, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, it's not like it used to be, right? Where, you know, you set up like your own little territories and you trained your people at the lower levels and they shot up. With it being conglomerated now,
Yeah.
you've got to grow the next, you know, the next level to keep feeding in, to keep that money coming in, especially with the TKO merger now. Like,
But can you imagine these guys talking about Caitlin Ohashi and the Clam Slam? Oh no, she's on the top rope. Is she gonna do it?
Well, I mean, the good thing is, you know what happens in January? All WWE like programming moves to Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, they can say whatever the fuck they want. They're not on cable TV anymore.
Oh my God. There's gonna be so much ball dangling. He has him in the testicle twister, not the testicle twister. Oh no, Caitlin Ohashi. She's coming with Clam slammed him in the face. For some reason, he's erect.
He's not wearing like the full pants tights. It's just like the underwear ones.
His dick shoots out the side. His dick just shoots out the side like a stray ball hair. It looks like Captain Johnson is uncircumcised. Oh my goodness. Only here on Netflix. His penis just played peekaboo with 30,000 people here in Detroit, Michigan at Ford Field.
Dude, you know what I'm kind of pissed about, man? SummerSlam's in Cleveland. Oh, I would love to go to that, dude.
Poor Jim Ross would have another.
He gets dull.
Jim Ross would fall right out of character. If Caitlin walked out there, he's like, "Are you believe this shit? Really?" Well, fuck. Wow, I don't even. I'll get in the ring for that.
My God.
My God. Malcolm goes, "That's right, brother Jim." My God.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh.
Virtuoso buying stock in that. If what we say happens, I'm calling WWE because you owe me money. If they're like, "Hey, these guys got something. If you got a guy uncircumcised, pop his dick outside and have his lipstick peekaboo like a dog, that'd be cool."
I mean, dude, you know what like the lead writer was for like 3 years, right? Freddie Prinze Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what he's been doing?
Well, no, he did it like probably 10 years ago, maybe 15. But like he's been a stay-at-home dad for a long time.
Dad, you know what? I got to do that shit for a little bit. And I won't get into my situation, but I loved fucking being a stay-at-home dad.
Dude, if I can just hang out with my kids, I'd be all right.
Oh my God. I love cooking. I love bitching about homework. I love putting people to sleep. I mean, not like no, it sound right. Go to sleep, nigga.
Jason's turning into Uncle Ruckus around his kids.
You niggas need to go to sleep. No, I meant like my young son and I, to Ray Reed. We were both talking about this one old Japanese anime, and he sent me the DVD for this anime. It's called Battleship Yamato. I think it's from the 70s or 80s. And that's what me and my young son went to sleep to. When it was time to go to sleep, I was like, "Hey, you want to watch something that you're probably not going to like?" And he was kind of like, "Man, whatever." And that was the one thing he was able to, because his mom would be like, "Oh, turn the TV off." And I was like, "Well, we're watching The Thing." So yeah. that was our thing. And then he started like singing the song. So, it's like, "Oh, we got to watch the show about the ship." I was like, "Oh, you're down to watch it?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm high-fiving him and shit.
Dude, and like, I know like my daughter is like 15, my son's 13, and my son's like really just going through teenage years right now. Like he's grown like 3 inches since the summer started.
For you and your ex-wife's wallets.
Yeah, dude. And he's just like, he's sleeping a lot. He's grouchy. And like, I love when I go over there because like he's got like all these old generation video game systems in his room, and he's got his PS5 in the living room, and my daughter has a Switch, and I love it when they both go, "Hey, Dad, you want to play some Fortnite?" Like, absolutely, because I know these are going to be done soon. Like these days will be done.
Yeah.
You
My
know,
sons say nice stuff to me here and there, but they don't give a shit. And they're not supposed to. They're 20 and 17.
yeah,
I'm the last thing they need or want to talk to.
yeah.
I'm
You
okay
know,
with that.
I know that eventually they're going to be like, you know, we'll all be super tight again. That's fine. But I just like look at it now and I'm like, because I miss so much from them when I was in the army. And then we've had this good relationship now, and they're both like fucking teenagers. And it's just like me for 10 minutes. That's all I ask.
That's all I need, dude.
I mean, Sean, that is a great goal, I think, to be Caitlin Ohashi's stay-at-home husband. I think that's if you expect me to try and like, oh no, Sean, don't do that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm saying shoot your shot, bro.
Oh, Sean wants to. I think if Sean's a young person, she's like what 24. She's young.
She's got to be in her early 20s, you know.
Yeah, she's super young.
Yeah, it's like way past that. Like I don't, not that young. Nope. That's just trouble. That's just trouble.
So Mac and I are two old dudes that have to train, because the older you get, you know, things start falling apart, and you have to start eating right. You can't eat late. There's just things you have to do when you get older.
Yeah, because gravity's a bitch, man.
Oh my god. My balls hang so low.
Bro, it's the worst, man. I'm like,
oh my god.
I was like, where is the structural integrity of this? Where did it go?
I didn't know that after 45, all the elasticity falls out of your nuts.
Just, you know, it's just like, it's gonna get to the point where I'm gonna have to like get a hairnet to keep them up while I'm taking a shit.
Hairnet. Imagine your nuts look like a Mexican gangbanger from a 90s movie. Your nuts is throwing up gang signs to your asshole.
Timothy, I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, I will be 43 in November. If Caitlin Ohashi saw me and was like, I think you're hot, the first words out of my mouth will be, you have daddy issues.
And that's no longer hot to me.
No, my brother.
Yeah.
No, my brother.
Those daddy issues are no longer attractive.
Nope. I've learned you can't fix them.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
Just don't.
No.
No. You know, it's just like, you know what? It was cute. Even into my mid-30s. Now, fuck no.
No.
Like, that's just too much, man.
You can see it better too when you get older. You're like, ooh, no, I can see wearing it on your face. It's all on your face. I can't. They're like, she's fine. It's like, maybe to you. Live a little.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, get a bidet again in this economy, bro.
Can you imagine a bidet spraying off these low-hanging nuts? It would look like somebody's ski shooting one of those fair games where if you pop the balloon, you get a fucking stuffed animal.
It's like a sprinkler, you know.
Also, this show is a massive reason why I'm single.
You know what? I actually had my friend that I met before I left DC. She's like, hey, I passed around your guys' show. And I was like, you did what?
No.
She's like, well, yeah. She was like, yeah, they were like watching the main show. And then they like sports too. Cause like they're, you know, she's going to grad school up at George Washington. And, you know, they have athletic programs there, apparently. I didn't know. What kind of nerd do you have to be like,
yeah,
I played basketball at George Washington University.
Oh, you're a fencer. Shut up.
Yeah. But so they watched one of our shows, and it was honestly one of the ones where we like did like 90 minutes of sports talk and then like 2.5 hours of like hog chasing Dr. King and you know, Malcolm screaming about how the white women are taking away the black men and she was like, "You all are ridiculous," and I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm aware." I was like, "But did they come back and listen?" And she was like, "They get the audio." You know?
It's hey,
Okay, Claw,
audio. Yeah.
you may look like a dad, but you look like a dad who repairs injured knees for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You look
So
like a dad that has a nice house.
you look like a dad who drives one of the new Corvettes that I got to spin around. Well, not
You
spin,
look like a
drive.
dad that has food in the refrigerator, not just condiments on the door.
Yeah. You look like a dad who has a nice pantry.
You look like a dad that's come to grips with his divorce. Mac and I look like dads that are forever going to be single.
The thing is, it's like I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, you know what? It's okay to die alone.
Oh shit. So this is a rapper, Mac. You have to see this. So again, I think he's around our age. And I'm just gonna play it. He's training, by the way. This is 2 Chainz. Wiz Khalifa. So this is Wiz Khalifa. Sorry.
What?
This is Wiz Khalifa.
That's like 2 of Wiz Khalifa.
That's Wiz. Okay, here it goes.
This Wiz Khalifa heard the lady say it was sundress season, and he took that personal. He looked like every drug dealer's first baby mama. And look,
Oh, damn, dude.
Whoa!
like the caption on this video was "Little Booties Matter."
God.
He got on Skims for Hims. This straight from the Dave Chappelle collection of wife beaters. That shirt supposed to snap in between the legs. This looked like a WNBA player's OnlyFans page.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Jason, you know who my celebrity crush is?
I don't know where this is going.
No, it's a WNBA player.
Oh, not Caitlin Clark.
Aja Wilson. She
Which
plays
one
for
is she?
She plays for the Aces.
Well, let's just look her up.
I mean, she's like 6 feet 6 inches tall. I'd have to be like so tall to ride that ride, but give me one chance, I'll be there. I will be her chauffeur, her private chef.
Oh, she's cute.
Oh, dude. And she's funny as shit.
She is cute. Nice hair.
So not all WNBA players look like Wiz Khalifa and a true.
WNBA players only fan. Dude, I saw that. I was like, whoop, guess what's going on the show now?
Yep. I mean, he's not wrong. Like, this is what kind of kills me. Like, he looks like every crack dealer's first baby mama. And I was like, I can see Wiz Khalifa in my head and then see him in the sundress. And I'm like, oh, God, he's right. He's right.
Dude, that was the one that just broke me. Sadly, Mac, let me find this. I gotta find this because this. So okay, this is gonna sound bad. You guys are gonna hate me. Okay, I only go to McDonald's when I cross the border, right? And there's a McDonald's that's like halfway between Mexico and the Bay Area.
Okay.
It's in Santa Clarita, which is near a place called Magic Mountain. And there's a big parking lot. You can sleep in there. It's pretty chill. And there's a McDonald's in the park, right? That eat, go. My daughter convinced me, Dad, get the app. Get the app. So I got the app. There's only one thing I can't get here in Mexico, which is the fillet of fish. The app goes, hey, we know you like fillet of fishes. Here's a free one. Don't you want more? Right? Because you know how you go to McDonald's and you get like 2 things, it's like $20.
Mm-hmm.
I went with the app. Here I am advertising for McDonald's. I only advertise for one thing, and that's Tubi. If it's not Tubi, then it's not to be. Oh. But I spent like $6, right? And I got all this food. I was all excited, right? So when I saw this Instagram reel when I still had Instagram on my phone. I was like, this man is embodying how I feel when I go to McDonald's. Like, this song is going to be stuck in my head because I have to drive up this weekend to see the little guy and the big ones. So enjoy this, Mac.
Oh, I'm loving him. Yeah, McDonald's, what I want. McDonald's, number 1, number 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 if you got it. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. I gotta get it. Gotta get it. Big Mac, cheeseburger, half fry.
He just touted himself off.
That is me, Mac. As I know, because I know the exit. It's the Lion Street exit.
gosh,
Lyon. When I see the lion, that man possesses my body. Here comes McDonald's.
Jason did not bring a towel, but one appears in his hand. He's just
I start ordering like James Brown. I'm sorry, what was that? Want to make me? Hi.
he gets out of the car, does a split
I do the clam slam.
right there on the pavement. He's got to be careful because with the balls hanging low, you don't want to smash him.
They just split too. My legs and nuts turn into Van Damme to protect me. But yeah, that is literally what happens to me when I pull into the McDonald's in Santa Clarita. I can't speak for anyone else. I don't know. Are you the same way when you pass a McDonald's?
No. I try not to. The last time I had McDonald's was like last month. I was drunk as shit, and my buddy was driving me home, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm getting food. Do you want anything?" Keep in mind, there's like 3 other people in the car, and he's got like a Traverse with 3 rows. So one person's sitting next to him. There's 2 people on a bench where you could sit 3, but of course my other buddy Jacob like decided to go to the 3rd row because he's like, I need my space. And what he did is he took off his pants. He was wearing boxers and he went to sleep.
That is the most drunkish shit ever.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, man, give me a large fry. Give me 3 large fries. And I'm just sitting there just like on the way back. I'm like, oh, there's so many fries.
But they were delicious, weren't they?
God, they were so good, dude.
Dude, and hey, and you know what's gonna happen? This.
I want sweet tea. It gotta be sweet.
Okay, one, sweet tea is fucking disgusting. I fucking hate it. It is the regional drink of the South, and I hate it when they're like, do you want sweet tea? And like a part of me is just like, I'm gonna choose violence today and tell them tea is made from tea bags steeped in boiling water that you boil on stovetop. Little cream, little sugar, down the hatch. Okay? It's supposed to be served hot, not fucking ice cold.
Hey, don't tell you're in the South and you're speaking this madness.
Oh, I do all the time.
You know, be careful.
I don't know why Southerners hate me more, that I'm from Ohio or that I hate sweet tea. But I just say, come at me, bro.
I also watch a fair share of cooking shows.
As one should. Love cooking shows.
I do love cooking. Do I ever send you the cooking videos?
You need to, because I wouldn't be caught off guard like I was with the clam slam.
Hey, hold on.
Because I'm like getting sleep out of my eyes. I'm packing a bag, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm erect. Like, what,
I don't know what this woman is cooking, and do you really care? Can you see?
Yeah,
I've
actually seen this one. Oh,
because I've actually seen this.
Yeah, because she's cooking the tortillas on the rim while everything else is cooking in the center.
That's what she said.
She's cooking on the rim. Here you go.
I think I fell in love. I am down to be serenaded while I wait for your delicious food to cook, and I make no comments at all.
There's a few sounds that are like fingernails on a chalkboard. The accordion and the tuba for me are two things I never need to hear again.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, you're wrong in two instances. If John Candy is playing the accordion, or she,
Oh,
playing the accordion.
yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. I'd have a whole different, annoying the fuck out of everybody. But it's like when they'd see, but I hope your wife ain't watching. They're talking to two single men.
But God, that, I mean, you had chorizo and bacon, and what's this? The other protein she had?
Dude, I don't even know what the fuck this is she's making. She's just throwing shit in a fucking pan. Grease pile of bullshit she's making. It's gonna clog the fuck out of your arteries.
Oh yeah, I'll probably die shortly after this meal. I'm not gonna lie.
And who is she cooking for? It's a massive pot.
I mean, she might have family coming over.
And she had a lot of time. This is better than them trad wives.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like cooking shit in toilets and stuff, and fucking white women sometimes, man. Just
I then skinned a cat for the meat.
Yeah.
What were they drinking? Unpasteurized milk?
Yes. So nice and frothy. I can feel the intestinal worms moving down.
Before I read my children the Turner Diaries to go to sleep, I decided to make a pot roast out of organically grass-fed beef.
Before we read the Turner Diaries, we watched Birth of a Nation.
Someone said you haven't heard of post-menstrual syndrome.
Sentinel.
What the fuck is post-menstrual syndrome? Oh my god.
Yo también fui pajarito antes con él.
Them fucking green onions is wilted as shit. That shit is just in there for color at that point. Because
That's all right. That's all right.
They are not stopping.
Okay. Wait. She had me until pineapple.
Really?
No. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. No pineapple. Nope.
Really? Look, I'm being very truthful to you. When we went to Mexico City on tour a few years ago, our friend, who was kind of our guide, took us to this place. He goes, "Oh, this is really good. It's really good." And I got a pastor quesadilla, and they threw the pastor down. They threw pineapple down. I was like, "Oh, I've never really seen this." That was one of the most magical food experiences in my life. It was almost as magical as that woman playing accordion while making oatmeal in front of me.
Meat oatmeal. You know?
Oatmeal, yeah.
I was like, okay, so she puts chorizo in there, which is a very greasy protein. Like
This shit is greasy as fuck.
right. When I cook it, like I make sure I strain the shit out of that.
She didn't strain a fucking thing.
No, not a damn thing. And then there's bacon in there, and I'm like,
Bacon.
okay, that's gonna be like just add to that. And I was like, well, that's gonna be really saucy and like without having like a, you know what I mean, like and not in a good way. And then she threw the beer in. And I was like, the worst thing about being Muslim.
What? She threw them green onions in, like, oh, you know it's healthy. Like, hell no, it ain't healthy.
No. I mean, that's just a assisted getting through your intestines. There's got to be some roughage there. But like the tomatoes, which I can lose in the protein because like I like texture is a big thing for me. And like when you cook a tomato, it gets all soupy and gross. But like throw it in some bacon, chorizo. I think there was like a flank steak that she chopped up, got thrown in there.
And then she had like some smoked sausage in that bitch too.
Yeah.
It
actually looked like kielbasa.
I don't know what that would taste like though. Because like you said, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, but I'm gonna smash anything she
So you're saying
I'll tell you what, Jason, she could put your raisin salad in front of me. I'm eating it with a smile. Just nom, 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 nom. And then maybe she smacks me around later on that night. I'd be okay with it.
Probably.
Yeah.
It
would be the sweetest beating I've ever gotten.
That's what she said.
Wait. I got to show you this. I got two more to show you. Okay. So you know how you can take a video, like somebody can take a clip of our stuff and like talk behind, like these two assholes are watching Caitlin Ohashi do the clam slam and they can do the thing, right? So this guy is trying to be a big time rapper and he has the worst rap I've ever heard. It's about like getting his heart broke. And it's just too much. It's too much.
Bro, if you got your heart broke, you sing like Neo. You don't rap about it.
Oh, it's really, I don't like it. But there was a video of a young lady crying over something happened to her. I think like somebody died or something.
Oh, shit.
And this dude takes the woman crying and he does the rap thing. So it looks like she's crying about his really shitty rap. And the woman got mad and left a comment.
Oh, yes.
So I need you to see this video because I need you to, you might like it. It might be something up your alley. I don't know. I don't want to judge you if you like it. I don't like it.
Oh, I can see him. I already don't like it.
Okay, here it is.
Remember that time we stayed up all night, talked about your past. You told me about some guy who ain't treat you right, said he fucked up your life. You did me wrong, but that don't make it right.
Is that Charlie Kirk?
This is Charlie Kirk's inner monologue.
But you got to keep in mind that head's so big, he's got 3 of them going on at the same time.
And this is one of them.
Yeah.
So there's a comment that I don't know if you can see it, and it says, hi, this is me, and I don't listen to this. You just stole my content and added your cheesy video.
You gotta love when you're stupid enough to do that without asking, and they're just like, nah, bitch. Mm-mm.
That comment has 2,700 likes.
As it should. It should have 27,000.
Dude, this song, I don't want that many people to see this song.
Yeah, that's true. This song's awful. And then just look at the dude. You knew it was going to be bad.
Sean Moon says, wait, I want to see the finished meat meal. Sean Moon, you take a bite of that shit, dude. It's as greasy as it was too. You were about to blow out the O-ring.
I was going to say, Sean, you don't want to eat that before you meet Caitlin. All right. You don't want
that is not where you want to be, especially these young kids eat all this ass nowadays.
All these young folks just eating that booty,
just eating that ass, eating that ass.
That is not a place for a meal.
My God, Max, you had me on my back, legs spread to the hereafter. Like, you cannot eat that meal and go out on a date with somebody that's a millennial.
You can't go out on a meal or go out anywhere after eating that meal. Like, you're going to be like in a food coma and then glued to your toilet for at least 13 hours.
Yeah, you were gonna have this smooth boo boo.
Yeah.
The whole house smelled like smooth boo boo.
Like someone turned a shit faucet on in your intestines and it's just coming out.
A head turn out says, "Who eating ass? I ain't eating ass." That's a rebellious millennial and Gen Zer in 2024. I'm not eating any ass. What the fuck?
Like a video
Doo-doo
comes out
of there.
a video comes out of Shawnee and then he goes on a date and she's like, I'm totally not tossing your salad tonight. Okay, it's not happening.
Oh, you're eating the Mexican surprise, huh? Okay, well.
Suppose you want to hear an accordion now, Sean?
I'm not getting pink eye again.
I had it last week for my other first date. Okay,
My other first date.
I had to cancel the ones after because I had pink eye once.
Dude would pebble dash the wall if he was hit with the clams.
Fucking Nuri.
God. And then you know what happens? You're singing like this fucking asshole after it's all over.
Yeah.
You ever gonna stop blaming the way that you act on scars of your past? Am I ever gonna stop trying to love someone who don't love me back? Still, I don't understand why God will put you in my plan. I know.
Oh my God, dude. What happens when you look at his jeans?
Look at his jacket.
Oh.
Puffer jackets are not meant to be small. I think he took that from his little brother who's recording this particular.
He's holding the iPhone.
Yeah.
It's not good, man. I don't like anything about your song, dude. I'm sorry. Maybe you're a nice guy.
His mother's disappointed in him.
Is she?
Yes, because she's still in her basement. Okay. And he's driving up the utility bills because he showers like 4 times a day to look that pretty. And he's pumping that shit through speakers loud as shit at all times of the night. And all she wants to do is go to bed after a 12-hour shift in the ER. Okay. That's what it is. And Nuri, the new season, I loved it. I love the show The Boys. It's fucking phenomenal.
Another thing that Mac and I we like to watch knockouts.
Of course we like to watch knockouts. Hopefully it's not another skinny dude who's like, why the fuck didn't you help me?
That was so favorite.
Fucking ridiculous,
Looked
bro.
at the referee.
Fuck, guys.
Look, dude. So Chuck Liddell, and who's the black guy?
Oh shit.
Uriah Hall.
Yeah, Uriah Hall.
Okay, here it is. Here's a fight.
Hey, yo. Oh, Dad. Whose man's is this? Who told him he might be able to do okay now?
But here's what I learned from stuff like this: is a lot of these guys, they watch a lot of anime or a lot of like TV shows, and they feel like, I am Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Like, no, motherfucker, you're not.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
He didn't once try and get his hands up.
Those are like 16-ounce gloves, too.
I know. Like what? I'm with Chuck and Uriah. Whose man is this? And then Chuck's like, who told him he'd do okay in this?
He was hitting him in the back of the head, the front of the head, when he said they think they're dude from Dragon Ball Z. Mac, you go to bars, and I'm sure you've seen your fair share of fights.
I do.
When you see a guy go right here, you go, ooh.
Yeah. I have a particular friend who's a bartender,
Mhm.
and you don't fuck with Jocelyn. And she's so sweet, usually stoned when she's working, so she's a lot of fun, right? But like, she will fight anybody. Anybody. And this dude had like $110 tab and left like a $3 tip.
Dick move.
And she was like, all right, yeah, later, bitch. You know, like, and he turned around and he was like, what'd you say? And she's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. And the bouncers come in and she was like, no, you two just stay the fuck over there. And she's like, I'll beat your ass. And he did that right there. Dude, she clocked him and he just,
He pulled like this, dude.
yeah.
I
And
gotta
dude,
watch it one more time.
Oh, Dad.
Whose man's is this? What do you...
Who told him he might be able to do okay in there?
But here's what I learned from stuff like this: is a lot of these guys, they watch a lot of anime or a lot of like TV shows, and if
Like Chuck Liddell's face is like they watch fucking cartoons.
yes.
Chuck Liddell's like, are you fucking shitting me, dude? They watch cartoons.
I'm just glad to see Chuck Liddell isn't slurring his speech, considering the last like 3 years of his career where he just got his brain knocked around.
He was getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, dude, that's what happens when you have that button pushed too many times, man.
The button get your shit pushed in.
Not that button.
Let's make sure what button.
I mean, I meant that knockout spot between your ear and right there at the corner of your jaw. All right. I mean, if he wants to have his button pushed, I'm sure his wife, you know, takes care of him. And I'm not going to kink shame anybody. That's not what we do on this show, unless you're Jason, who's totally against eating ass.
Not like these young kids, man. They're just everybody's ass is a meal to them. It's dangerous.
I mean,
Go to the danger zone. The danger zone.
Jason finally meets that single yoga instructor and she pulls those yoga pants down and she just spreads cheeks. She's like, eat, Jason. He's like, I fell in. She's like, what are you doing? And you're just like, shut up.
Like a rabid dog. Okay. Okay. We're going to end with this.
Yes, we have one more because I have to be at work at 8.
Okay.
I have regular working hours now, Jason.
Oh, fuck. That's right. You're a normal guy now.
I am. I'm a regular
Mac,
person.
This woman is my new motivational speaker. She's a drummer out of Costa Rica.
I wish I would have dropped acid before you played this because that background would just make this real fun.
Noriank said like getting raisins shoved in my pee hole.
Wait,
oh my God. So she's my new motivational speaker.
She dressed like Dora.
Yeah, she's Dora la Motivadora, the motivator.
Oh.
So check this out. This is good. This is what you need to hear every morning before you go to the gym.
I'm 32 and I can do whatever I want. Today, I'm Dora. La motivadora, vamos! Sometimes in life you think that life sucks. Pero there's days that are better. And you have to say hello to the mirror and go, hi, I'm so pretty. Today I'm enough. Today I'm good. I cannot say bad things to myself. Nobody around me. Always be kind. Life is gonna get better one day at a time. Don't be so harsh on yourself. You got this. You got this. Let's go. Ah!
Every morning.
What?
Yeah.
I appreciate the sentiment, but it was a very visceral, motivating. I mean, okay.
That's what I need to like get up in the morning.
It's gonna be like you'll set that to go off like when your alarm goes off on your phone, and like you're gonna be next to somebody. And she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?
What's going on?" It's like it's motivational shit.
It's like, come on, baby, let's go on a 6-mile run.
Take over the world. I'm gonna edit these videos in the other room.
Actually, bend over. Daddy needs breakfast.
I'm a naughty millennial.
If you want something to do, here's some raisins. Just
Eric T says, I always catch this show when shit gets.
Well, Eric, it's why you watch, you partake, is for the weirdness. In addition to the important conversations about sports in life and everything else.
Dude, that's so motivational. I don't know about Mac. I would assume a dude that spent some time in the armed service would love a woman screaming.
I would have loved to have had that when I had a kid like sleep past first call.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like play it, like put a speaker in the hallway of the barracks and just hit play. Watch all the dudes like wake up out of their drunken haze, like, what the fuck? Ah!
Sometimes life is sucks.
Doors,
pretty.
Dora is letting you know that you are worth it and you are pretty, and today's going to be a good day. And no, I'm not going to be kind if you don't get your ass to PT formation.
I'm gonna eat your ass like a millennial.
Oh no, not those guys.
Not in that
Fuck
cool
that.
way.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, Bill Gates could have come down and be like, Mac, here's $2 billion. I want you to toss 3 salads while waking them up for PT. And I'm gonna be like, fuck you, dude. Take that money and shove it right up your ass. You don't know where these guys were last night.
$1 billion.
Fuck you. I'll die poor before I submit myself to that.
Can we watch the white lady speaking to black men motivation?
Oh no.
I forgot I played that on
One of the
here.
most cursed videos, almost as cursed as the one you put up on Instagram earlier.
Oh.
When they're celebrating a year since we found this gem. And I was like, no!
We laughed so fucking hard at that shit.
Dude, and then me, you and Marcus are on the show and you played it and I almost died and you guys just laughed at me.
Oh, dude.
And then we build up a whole mythos around that poor woman.
Dude, they were trying to figure out what it meant when the Armenians were down.
Yeah. And all her apparent affair with Vladimir Putin.
This is Putin's pussy.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. How can I forget?
Mac. So it came across. I'm putting in the things because I have this program that cuts them into shorts. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to cut this into shorts. I'm going to see what it spits out. And it spit out that clip that I sent you. And that's the best one. Because that woman said some of the most insane things in the history of insane things.
Well, Nuri just said something insane. I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry for $3 billion. I am sending up an ass-eating
You say that now, Nuri.
And then after the first one, you're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, you start seeing these kids. Another thing about these people, have you ever seen this shit where these people talk about they don't wash their ass?
What?
Because it's gay?
What?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard that before until the internet showed me. And I was like, people like that don't really exist. Internet was like, bullshit.
Oh, that's like when I kept hearing a joke like white people don't wash their legs. And then like a bunch of white people were like, I don't wash my legs. Why do they need to be washed? And I'm just like, ew. Because if you don't wash your legs, you don't wash your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. And then they want to get in your house and sit on your couch
with their dirty butt
floor
and their smelly
butt,
feet. Oh.
Dirty butt. Dirty booty little boys.
No.
All right, here, guys. We're leaving with
You
this.
want it? Go to Africa. We gave a black beach back. You don't want it? Stay here. Get off our line. It's the whites and the Latins. Anybody got a problem with it? Because I'm Indian too. I'm Vietnamese. This bitch is trying to free the world. So who's going to sell me my iPhone today? Who's going to sell me the biggest iPhone in this house?
What?
That's the best. This bitch is trying to free the world. Who's trying to sell me a motherfucking iPhone?
Trying to sell me an iPhone today.
You want it? Go to
Yeah.
Dude, it's Marcus's laugh that gets me every time.
Dude, when she starts trying to pick fights and she says, we gave a black beach back in Africa. This bitch is trying to free the world. She walks in with her passport and says, I'm a federal agent.
Yes. Oh, so good. And then with the Armenians are down.
The Armenians are down.
And then we spent an hour. What are they down for?
We're trying to figure out where the Armenians were down. I don't know why the Armenians were down.
Oh, dude, you want to hear? You want to hear something really cursed? You know who held an acting class in Yerevan, Armenia?
Don't say a Kardashian.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh, because he's all fucked up because no one fucks with him anymore.
Mhm. He went all the way to Armenia to hold an acting class.
No way. Did I send you that video of him on what show was he on recently?
He was on a show?
Yeah. He was on a show recently talking about his the trials and tribulations of being Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I almost feel as bad for him as I do the fucking Nickelodeon producer that just went around raping children.
It was Dan Schneider didn't rape anybody. He didn't rape anybody. And when he found out that he didn't know. Don't get mad at Dennis Blunden. He didn't know.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. When you're in charge of something, like you're the big boss, you fucking know.
No, you don't.
And you want to know why you know? The same reason I knew about everything in my soldier's life, and they didn't tell me about any of it. And it's because everybody fucking talks.
No one knew.
I'm telling you, man.
Even the kid that was raped said as soon as he found out, dude fired because he didn't know. No one knew. His parents didn't know. No one knew.
Oh, I can see a parent not knowing because parents tend to turn a blind eye.
And that guy had a long history in Hollywood working with kids. The one person that knew that called it wasn't anyone on the set. It was the kid's girlfriend's mom.
I know. I watched the whole thing, and I'm telling you, I don't buy. When anybody in charge said, I have no idea. Like when Art Ryle said, I had no clue. Yes, you did. It's your job to know. It's your fucking job.
So you really think that dude knew what no one else knew? Because no one was talking about what they didn't know.
I think he had an inkling.
I don't buy it.
Dude.
That's why people get away with it for years.
We will agree to disagree on this.
There's a difference between Puffy throwing around money and beating the shit out of people in public and a predator. And the reason why those people are predators is because they know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I want Puffy to hit me in the face so he can pay me $1 million to make me be quiet. And then I'll just go back and beat his ass later because that man is not intimidating.
No, but he's a piece of shit, right? That threw his money around. This guy was not this wasn't a situation like what's the other guy that just got acquitted in one state. This isn't a Weinstein case where it was like you want to roll, you got to pay the troll toll. It wasn't that. The dude,
I just am telling you from my personal experience. When you're in charge, you know. Because it may not
how do you again?
I can only tell you
what you don't know
what I dealt with.
Cool.
Because people thought I did not know. I knew.
How would you know what no one else knows and you're not paying attention to it and this person has a reputation? Nothing's going bad on set. Everybody's showing up to work on time. No one's saying peep. How would you know? You have a certain clairvoyance to know?
No.
You're checking to see. Here's the thing that no one likes to admit. You go through all the proper checks with the background check, right? And this guy, remember, if you watch the thing, several people in Hollywood came through and said,
oh, yeah, he's good.
Great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. So off that alone, where was the proof that dude was a child molester? Where was the proof? That's what I'm saying.
I hear you, man.
So you're saying that you would have a certain clairvoyance to be like, oh, that guy's a child molester.
It's not a clairvoyance. In a group of 100 people, 98 will stay quiet. 2 will not. All I'm saying is predators are a predator for a reason. You're absolutely right. They know how to do predator shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But there's always someone, man. This is...
Sometimes there's not.
I mean, I'm willing to be wrong, man. I'm wrong about a lot. Like I thought,
remember his dad. The way the guy broke up the relationship with his dad is super common in Hollywood. Get yourself out of regular people mode and get yourself into Hollywood mode.
Well, I've never met Hollywood people, Jason.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different mode. People are shitty, and it's not because they want to fuck your kid. They may want to fuck your kid over. They may want to fuck you over, but people are really shitty in that world.
Yeah,
very, very shitty. So him getting between the kid and his dad, I don't know if that would have arose the same alarm bells. You'd be like, oh, that guy's being a shitty dude, and this is that manager trick that they always do.
Yeah.
People are shitty, and you just don't know all the time. There just weren't signs.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of like Eric T here, like a grown man paying so much attention to a kid they're not related to. Like
that's his job.
It's
would
gross.
You say that to a teacher?
It's gross.
No, it's not. That's a teacher, right? Do you not want your teachers used to hug students? So you're telling me if you saw a male teacher hug a young student, and I know you would do this because I did it when my daughter went to Montessori school. There was a man there, and we were like, we feel bad because there's a man here doing things that we're used to seeing women do. There's a reason why men are you never see them in daycare settings. It's not because all men fuck kids. It's because of the 80s and the satanic panic and the way we view child molestation. Even though most of that shit never happened, it's here. So you want to think that, oh, I would I'll give you this. Cosby, I've heard about that shit in Hollywood circles since the aughts.
God damn.
I heard about Puffy since the aughts. Busta Rhymes since the aughts. Heard all that shit. Don't know how true it was, but we've heard it.
Yeah.
Right? This dude is a little bit different because he didn't have those positions of power. Kind of. He's a tutor, but I mean, you got to see the way these kids talk to tutors as well. He didn't have to molest all the other people that he dealt with. He just had to do one. And that's like, you're going to see that? Like, how are you going to see it? The mom saw it because how did the mom see it? She was like, why the fuck is this guy calling you? Like, she literally saw this kid's phone get blown up.
Yeah.
You're a producer of a fucking show, or many shows that are all mega hits. You probably have a bit of a booger sugar problem. You really paying attention to everybody's comings and goings to that level? We could always talk about what we should do.
That's fair. That's fair.
But it's like, I feel bad for that kid's parents. I feel so bad for that kid's parents. If you watch that thing, his dad is so broken up by it.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like, I should have known. And it's like, you're going to feel that way for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, you're going to feel like I should have known. By the grace of God, nothing that I know of has happened to my children. But when I worked in services, I did break up a situation with a child and a child predator that wasn't very old. And there's 300 people in the place, not all at one time, but through, that are staying there. And I'm not saying that because you're gonna lose track. But guess what? We didn't know as staff. We didn't know who was a known sex offender. Can't tell anybody that.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it, man. It's just, I can't imagine being in that world, dude. It's gross. It's grimy. And this, like, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, like,
oh, of course,
celebrity, because I have my favorites. I'm not going to lie. Ryan Reynolds, love that dude. Seems very wholesome. And if anything bad were to come out about him, it would I can't imagine being like putting anyone in that environment, especially what's happened, everything that's come out in the last 20 something years, about how awful, like just truly awful it is. God, that's depressing. Why are we ending on a depressing?
I was trying to end on a better note.
You know what? Fire up the weird woman again.
and look, dude, it is depressing. Again, as someone that had to pull a kid, oof. I'm not going to get into it because people are probably heated, but it's uncomfortable because the whole way it was handled, and again, I won't get into it, made me feel dirty. It was one of the reasons why I did leave.
Yeah.
But, and that was a situation where if we would have known, we could have looked out. But if you don't know, you don't know what to look for. And in defense of all the people that were working there, if you don't know what to look for. And do we always want to look at men that are around children as predators?
Well, one thing we do know is they did violate child labor laws. We do know that.
Oh, they're fucking dude. Child labor laws are going to shit. You live in a state where they got kids out there working in the factories,
bro. I mean, and the thing is, that's what killed me about Arkansas. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. 13-year-olds can now work till 10 p.m. the night before school.
Oof, that's disgusting.
Yes.
You know, all this shit's oof.
I mean, dude, we've fought literal labor wars to get kids out of fucking mines and factories
to put them back in them. We are on a race to get to the past. I've been saying we're on a race to the past. We love nostalgia to the point where we want to relive it. We want to relive kids' work. Kids need their own body autonomy. Let's get them in the factories. They get those little hands.
Yeah,
they're great.
And
let's fuck them.
Yeah.
You know, that's what a lot of this shit boils down to, those two kind of gross things.
Yeah. I mean, this is what kills me most is, you know, everybody's looking at Project 2025 or whatever, right? But there are Republican congressmen that are looking to overhaul like just labor law. And one of the things in Project 2025's little manifesto is that workers should be able to negotiate with management and say they are to work 80 hours over a 2-week period. But at no point should it have to just be 40 and 40. They could work 79 hours one week and 1 hour next week, but not be eligible for overtime because they worked 80 hours in 2 weeks.
Labor schmaber.
Who cares about that, right?
Independent contractor.
Yeah, that's my least favorite fucking term I've ever heard now.
I'm going to leave on this cheery note.
The Armenians are down?
The Armenians are down. I found this video a year ago, and I watched it on a Saturday with my friends. And then we watched it again with Mac because we didn't believe what we saw the first time we saw it. This is going to be Mac's second time witnessing this. We won't play the whole video, but we're going to play enough of it that you guys are going to say, you're retarded.
Yeah, and she just wanted the biggest iPhone.
Just wanted the biggest iPhone. So here, we'll rewind it to the beginning. Enjoy. We're going to... It is to my real goddamn life. All right.
Guilty
For
as
those
the
of you that
pleasure.
missed it, we're going to play this again.
Yeah.
Hopefully the audio only listeners won't get too angry. Hopefully they'll laugh.
November 27th, 1973.
Hello, Mom. Stop crying.
I am a federal agent. I will never shut down a store. Whoever's in charge is in charge. The Armenians are down. I'm not worried about Minos. I'm not worried about Russia. Anybody worried about Putin? Because this is his pussy. So, if Junior Unum wants to keep playing games, tell Sharif, stay with Sam Slarney. Because all you black men are reneging.
Huh?
It's about 1.8 million in gold. You want it? Go to Africa. We gave a black beach back. You don't want it? Stay here. Get off our line. It's the whites and the Latins. Anybody got a problem with it? Because I'm Indian too. I'm Vietnamese. This bitch is trying to free the world. So who's going to sell me my iPhone today? Who's going to sell me the biggest iPhone in this house?
the best. This bitch is trying to free the world. Who's trying to sell me a motherfucking iPhone?
Trying to sell me an iPhone today.
Is that the whole thing?
Oh my god. No, that's like
There's more.
This is where it's like if it just held here, I'm telling you, this would have been an insta classic, right?
It's true. There is more.
Do we want to play the more? Because she just starts dropping N bombs.
No, but can we stop here? Can we stop here?
Stop it right there.
We didn't get to the part with Caitlyn.
If you keep going with it, it's because of the black guy goes, "Hey."
That's enough.
You're reneging, and the guy goes, "Excuse me."
1.5 million in Africa.
She said, like,
We
hey,
just gave back a black beach.
if you want it, you got it over there. But you're still here.
Can you imagine being at work? You're about to close the store. You know, the key holder is ready to do the count for the end of the night. You've just swept the front, and then that person walks in because you can tell everybody's behind the counter.
I looked at the whole damn store. Like all the other customers were like, "I'm just gonna come back here with y'all."
Yeah, for real, right? I'm just gonna move this rope here. Can I open this panel?
Y'all.
Someone says, "Can you imagine the voices that tell her to say this stuff? If the voices are me."
Yeah.
That's
voices are all Jason.
I think we're hearing it all unfiltered at this point.
The voices are just me, and I'm like, "Hey, you really want to like? This is funny."
Because I got snitched out and I got niggas all up in heat on my house.
So when she says niggas all up in heat, are they excited to mate?
You know exactly what that means. Yes.
Sound like Ghostface. Niggas is fucking around my gate.
Someone says, "What a time to be alive."
For real.
Kush Look says, "Maybe both." It's a double entendre. It's got a double entendre.
Take that, Kendrick.
Kendrick does not have double entendres. Like, what did she say her name was? She said her whole name.
Oh, I don't know. So she said she was born in 1973.
I'm a federal agent. Look at my passport.
Yeah.
Man, this is a win.
Wild. That shit is so wild.
Somebody says she's spitting.
She got bars.
I got niggas all up in here. Oh my god. Wait a minute.
Chewy's up. Caitlin's done. Her dog.
Who the fuck is Caitlyn?
Caitlyn has
Don't
a
worry
great
about it.
name.
You don't got to worry about Caitlyn anymore.
That's right. She's done.
Done.
Who the fuck is Caitlyn? Is she done because the niggas are in heat or the niggas have heat?
I mean, this is where it's like,
spit.
I don't know, like you like don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you want to ask about Caitlyn, you might find out where she went. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you really want to know? You know? You want to go meet up with Caitlyn?
Is this the smoke you want? Is this the smoke you want? Okay, it's almost over.
Great Dane. Is he allowed to shit all over my house? Who is allowed to shit on me? Who shit in the streets of IMT?
What is IMT? I don't know what IMT is. But I'm mad that the dog isn't housebroken. And if a dog, like if Ben's dog was shitting in my house, as much of a crazy neat freak as I am, I might be in a T-Mobile.
Just hollering nonsense.
I might be in a T-Mobile.
I don't know who Caitlyn is. We're still trying to figure out what Armenians are down.
Her exact relationship with Vladimir Putin.
How a passport equals a badge.
What happened to that Great Dane that was shitting all over the place?
Who gets to shit on me? That is the conversation that I have in my head whenever I'm paying bills.
Jason doesn't sleep at night because he's trying to figure out the answers to all these questions.
It's like that meme where the woman and they see all the numbers.
It's just Jason.
Like, why would Caitlyn do this? Why would she have her dog over there? Just it's a Great Dane. Those are big dogs.
What's IMT?
We found Marcus ended up looking it up, or somebody told him, and it found out it was somewhere in Michigan. He's like, "Oh, she's a Michigander. This is just normal behavior."
Yeah, makes sense now. I'm not even surprised.
Donnell says she made her Putin relationship
crystal clear.
Because what's funny is, and I think if you watch the whole clip, it's called "More Fun at the T-Mobile Store." When you record the moment she walks in, she must have come in there before.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, here comes that woman that wants the iPhone again."
Yeah.
Because it's not just one other time.
Yeah. This is a woman who like cracked her screen 3 months ago. She's been here every Wednesday since.
every fucking Wednesday, just the same complaint, you know.
Like that poor dude that was like, "Whoa."
That was my favorite part.
Right. Like that dude, when she walked in, he's just like, "God damn it, dude. We had 10 minutes. 10 minutes."
If you keep watching it, she goes on to start a fight with all black people. That's what she does the thing about we gave Black Beach back.
I see that is probably the one that confused me the most. Because there's a lot of coastline on the continent of Africa.
Gave a Black Beach back.
Where exactly are you giving black people their own beaches back?
She said, "I'm Vietnamese too."
Yeah.
It's just trying to free the world.
I love when Marcus repeats it. I'm just like, I'm telling you, like the thing is we watch anything with Marcus laughing, it makes it that much more because his laugh is like,
oh, dude, he fucking lost it.
It's stupidly infectious, his laugh, and then he just progressively gets higher when the rest of us are laughing too.
Dude, we lost it so because me and you and him watched it. Me, him, and Toussaint watched it because Toussaint hadn't seen it, and that was one of the things. Like sometimes we play these videos, not all the time. Sometimes we play these videos like we'll work out bits. Me and Mac, not so much.
Jason and I like to just improv everything.
It's all improv. But Toussaint and I will actually like work things out. And for that one, we didn't have to. It was like, I'm just gonna play this for you, Toussaint. And you're gonna sit back.
When Toussaint said Ghostface, I almost fell over, dude.
It just sound like Ghostface. I got niggas up in here. I'm still trying to figure out. Does that mean they're horny for you? He's got a lot of black people with guns. Is it summertime? Is there a heat wave?
I'm gonna go ahead and say all three. They're spit roasting her in 90-degree weather with pistols in each hand.
That's the Republican vision.
Yeah. This is the Democrats bring a commercial out. They're like, "Is this the future you want, Republicans?" And they're all like, "Hell yeah, let's do this. We're fucking and we got guns."
Republicans' vision of America is like all the interracial porn they've ever seen, like black meat on White Street and shit like that. I don't want your liberal vision of America where these big dick Negroes are dicking down beautiful hawk to us.
You got to spit on that thing. All right.
There's not enough saliva in the world for some of these dudes. Jesus Christ. They're playing little black girls double dutching with that shit. This is too much dick in some of those porns. Don't put all that dick up in me.
the penis power. Hitting the bottom and working wall to wall.
You know I'm clipping that tomorrow, right? I'm getting up to that episode.
Oh man.
I'm clipping it, and I even know what I'm gonna call it. Mac learns about Jam City.
Jam City. I mean, I'm still waiting for the perfect time to just walk up to a woman and be like, "You want to go to Jam City?"
I'm hoping that one of these ridiculous things goes viral. I don't even care about money. I just want to be able to make Jam City a fucking word.
The thing is, we're gonna make this go viral, right? We start pumping out T-shirts, making money, and then we get sued by her.
Who gets to shit in my house?
That's right. She's like, "Oh, I know you're not taking my phrase. This is where women go to Jam City when they try and put all that penis up in there."
She said, "Don't rush all that dick up in me."
Oh my god, dude. God, we're idiots.
Again, if any woman ever was to utter those words to me, I'm dropping to one knee, dong out, full erection.
6 to midnight with that extra 2 inches there, you know?
I'm putting anything, a twist tie around your finger, anything I can find.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I hear that. I'm not just getting an extra 1.5 inches. My balls are going to retract magically, you know? Like... Oh, dude, Virtuoso, come to Jam City for the Clam Slam extravaganza.
That's the shirt. That's the shirt that we need to make that like 8 people will get. Doesn't matter.
Dude, I'll wear mine to the gym.
What the fuck are you talking about? If you don't know, you don't know.
Obviously, you ain't never been.
Yeah, it's like shit. It's back today, bitch. Yeah. Getting my strength up to take this motherfucker to Pound Town, man. I mean,
Pound Town's the exit before Jam City.
Yeah, you don't want to get off in Pound Town. You're gonna get a social disease there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a certain rapper that talked about her coochie pink and booty hole brown. So yeah, you're getting something if you stop at Pound Town.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not pleasure. Pissing razors for the rest of your life, like it's a circus trick.
Yeah,
you can piss them and juggle them. Virtuoso said, "Bitch, you dropped this." This ring. I'm being totally serious. Why won't Trayvon marry me? It's like then you show we got the trick for you.
Man, have you ever taken your woman to Jam City? No? Well, we're here to show you. You've got to hit the bottom and go wall to wall.
And then you need a lot of lift in your penis.
And by lift, we mean thrust. And by thrust, we mean strap a jet engine to your ass and go to town. Sure.
Apparently, that's what this woman's looking for.
You might shoot through the wall like Kool-Aid Man, but I assure you, it'll be worth it.
When she looks you in the eye with a little bit of fear, a little bit of joy, it says, "Don't rush all that dick up in me." Then you'll know our method worked.
You rush it in there. You just go ahead. Like Ted Lasso says, live your life.
Why won't Matt commit? Did you tell him you were scared of his dick? I'm sure it'll work.
Sweetheart, you didn't utter those 5 words I always wanted to hear. What is that? Take me to Jam City.
Take me down. Take me.
Oh man, we're officially canceled. We're done.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Mac, thank you so much. This was I really enjoyed the talk. This is one of those moments, man. If you were here right now, I'd give you the biggest hug. I already miss you.
I love you, bro.
I
Man,
kind of missed you.
This is like one of my favorite days. It's just like Jason and I are gonna sit there and be just idiots together. It's so fun. I don't have to like pretend to adult. You know? Like on Beyond the Red Zone, there's no bills I have to pay.
Where else can you go say wonderful things about your children and how much you love them? Talk about horrible sex things. Tons of dick jokes.
Oh, tons.
And, about football.
Yeah. I mean, we talked some heavy shit too. Like that's you get all your bases covered here, man. So everybody tell your friends. Don't tell your parents though. They might look at you different if they found out you were listening.
Was that Joey Nichols? Was Joey Nichols the guy whose wife we were making fun of that day?
Joey
Nichols, are you the guy who we were talking about your wife having bedazzled jeans?
The one who yelled at you for still listening to us?
Joey, if that's you, we're sorry. I hope you're still married.
Yes.
You were buying a rotisserie chicken at Walmart at night, so that sounds like a single man right there.
Yeah, that kind of does.
That or an unhappy married man. It's like, I'll get the rotisserie, Alan.
I'm so tired of watching you eat it over the sink like you're the only person here.
Yes, I'm gonna get the JoJo potatoes. I always get the JoJo potatoes. That's Joey. Those are the only two worlds you can live in, Joey.
Yeah. Joey, we will get you come to Jam City for the clam extravaganza shirt. We'll make sure you get it first. It's the least we can do for imploding your relationship.
Because either you're eating that whole chicken alone with those shitty flavorless rolls.
Oh yeah, it's like they didn't cook with butter. When they made them.
Oh, just dry ass rolls. You don't want, and because of the divorce, you don't have enough money to get those Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah.
So you got to eat the store rolls that come with that shitty ass rotisserie chicken. Yep. And you don't have enough for the JoJo potatoes. And you think about, damn, when I was married, I had JoJo potatoes.
Yeah, it's late. So you like ask one of the associates, like, hey, how long's this rotisserie chicken been out? And she's like, I'm on break.
And she ashes a cigarette into your bag. And sadly, it's the hottest thing that's happened to you all year. So it's either that reality, Joey, or you're just unhappily married.
Yeah.
But it's Joey. He's laughing. Joey, are you the guy? Tell us because if you are, we're sorry. Please bring her in front of the screen so we can tell her to not her face as close as it. Well, this is all sounding.
That's what she
Stop. But tell her screen to face that we're sorry.
Yeah, we truly are.
It's got to be. Is it Joey Nichols is the guy, right?
Yeah. See, the thing is, we built up lore around multiple people tonight. Poor Eric W. is the swing master. Yeah, looks like the mask, from the Jim Carrey movie.
Eric W. is the man.
He still has that great head of hair, though.
We got the Blackish show too, because everybody had that last initial, so they know we don't confuse. There's an Eric T too.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I think I said
Claw said he thinks it was Joey. I trust Claw.
I think it's Joey. Joey, are you the dude? Don't. I hope he's getting it now. He's getting in trouble. He's like, honey, come to the screen.
Or he maybe said, baby, let's go to Jam City. And she was like, bet.
Honey, come here, quick. These people on the internet, that 8 people are watching, want to tell you something. You know what's really fucked up, dude? Even the apology to Joey got too deep. Joey said bedazzled jeans.
Oh, Joe.
I might have made that shit up just now, Joey. I don't remember. You're making a lot of jokes here. Just if she Joey, just tell us, is she nearby? Is she in the earshot of here? Because we'll apologize.
He's gonna come back with, I have to wear earbuds when I listen to it now.
My kid just got expelled from school for.
He asked his 8th grade math teacher to go to Jam City. Thanks, guys.
My kid did Pog Chaser MLK in school.
My kid had to pick an important person and do a presentation as them in school, and he picked Pog Chaser MLK. Thanks.
My favorite person is Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King freed the slaves and loved white women.
With big bottoms. Something about yoga pants, too. I forget, though.
Martin Luther King was a good person because my mom is white and she's fat and he would like her too. Oh shit. Now we gotta apologize to Joey's kid. Oh my God. When I worked for Yo Gabba, every night, Mac, we did 2 shows a night, 130 shows in 6 months. I shit you not, Mac. A parent would come up to me every night and go, my son got expelled from school because of this show. I was like, what the fuck was your kid doing?
Yeah.
You know what the kid was doing? I shit you not, Mac. Beatboxing, because Biz Marquee did Biz's Beat of the Day. And when the little kids would beatbox, a little spit would come out because they don't know what they're doing, right? Every day, every show, 2 shows a night, every show. The parents weren't mad. They thought it was funny.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, what do they do? Belting out Shark Fighter at the top of their lungs in the middle of class? Like,
because Biz would be like,
yeah.
So, I mean, imagine a little fucking 4-year-old white kid, you know. I'm Biz Marquee. And then their teacher tells them it's cultural appropriation.
I mean, I think it's culturally appropriate to just like Biz Marquee. He's awesome.
He came out. He larger than life character, man. So fucking nice and so much fun. And all he had to do was come out and say, "Hey, kids, it's time for Biz's Beat of the Day." And those kids would go crazy. And then he would end, I shit you not, Mac, every night. He'd beatbox a little bit for real, and then he'd go, "You," and all the parents would just jump up. God, what I mean? Oh, dude, it was awesome. And if I'm gonna end on one note, I'll end on that good note because I got to spend a lot of good time with that dude. And the world's a little bit darker when people like that go away.
Yeah, I agree. And here's another one. Listen to Shark Fighter, guys. That song's fucking awesome. Like my son is 13 and saw them play. They opened up for Less Than Jake, and I always thought it was weird that there were so many kids around, like for that particular part of the show. And my son still to this day will run around being Shark Fighter.
Dude, I love seeing kids happy, and if Pog Chaser MLK makes them happy.
No, my brother.
Maybe that's too far.
Well, maybe that's too early. I mean, I'm starting to realize my son likes a big bottom busty woman.
My dad is a podcaster, and
he has comic tattoos, and I like women the same as he does, with fat bottoms and big old titties.
My dad says once I get hair down there, I can go to Jam City.
My dad said we can go to Jam City, but to stay away from Pound Town.
Can you imagine Joey Nichols? The poor guy grabbed his woman for us to apologize. We're like, oh no, fuck that. We're done. You had your moment, Joey. Fuck it. She wasn't quick enough. Now he's got to get yelled at. I thought they were going to apologize to me, Joey. This is why I'm not fucking you. Little dick fucker. Now he's got to be back to little dick ain't shit motherfucker eating that cold ass rotisserie chicken
By himself over the
by
sink.
himself over the sink. The kid, nobody's having fun. No one's having fun now, Joey. Should have moved faster, god damn it.
Joey's house is the no fun zone.
No fun. No fun. Sorry, Joey.
We love you, Joey.
Joey. Look, Joey, play this back for your missus. We're so sorry. Don't get mad at Joey. We were just playing.
Yep.
We think that those true religion genes you have are always going to be in style.
Always.
We don't. Sometimes pants have to flare.
They
and
do.
Yours flare. And that's okay.
And they shine with the best of them.
Right? Sometimes, look, I'm glad you have all the bedazzling on the jeans because it gets darker. It's going to get darker soon.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it is through those jeans we'll be able to find the car at the mall. The kids will always know where you are. So we're sorry. We're sorry if it sounded like we were being insulting. We were actually congratulating you and Joey.
And the little ones.
And the little one. Little Nichols.
That's right.
Little Nichols.
We love the entire Nichols family.
The whole Nichols family. Bunch of Nichols.
That could be as bad as Indigem.
Goddamn Nichols again. It ain't that Nichols boy, is it? Nichols running around here.
It's gonna be funny in like 2 years. Joey's come back and he's like, I got 5 kids now. What's been 2 years, dude?
I played that video and she did what you guys said. She got scared of my dick.
I actually got the jetpack. It works.
And by the way, we can actually see into what you guys are. What we can see because of the program. And every time we played the big butt videos, Joey turned his head away. He was like, "No butt could be better than whatever butt you have."
That's right.
That's what Joey said. He typed it into a private thing that you can't see, and it erases, so you can't even see that he typed it.
Yeah,
it's like magic ink, and he magic inked us a message that said, "I appreciate the humor, but I can't look at any butt other than my wife's butt." He's got butt tunnel vision.
Yeah,
that's what Joey told us in a private message.
Yep, just straight ahead at Mrs. Nichols' butt.
Then Mrs. Nichols, all loves them Nichols.
I think you've been hanging out with Putin's pussy.
On behalf of me, Mac, and the secret messages of Joey Nichols. Thank you guys for hanging out, Mac. Really, I mean that. Smoking that same dope shit. Dude, this is some clean pee here. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I'll be back tomorrow with Alex Herbert. And we're going to talk about actually his documentary that he made in Putin's kind of sort of backyard, kind of sort of, but not really, in Georgia, in Tbilisi.
Ooh.
So that's going to be interesting. Alex is a scholar of the Soviet Union. So thank you guys. Again, thank you, Brother Mac. Thank you, Claw. The whole, all them Nichols.
All
the Nichols.
All 7 of your family in 2 years, Joey.
All.
And you too, Eric W. I hope you and Scat Jesus have a great
Jump, jive, and whale your ass into prosperity there.
That's right.
Thank you guys, and we are out.